2 is here, and it's Thursday, and we all late. Just so much happened this week. I have to tell you all about what happened to me on Monday in East Oakland. That is not the spot. First of all, I have on my shirt. This is from our new merch store. Let me pull up. Since I have it on, you can't really see it good. But here's another one that I ordered for my friend. And this is the design. She's saying, what's in it for me? And then, even though I did change the back because people complained that it looked too much like a billboard, I ordered 2 with it. This so I could wear them to the gym and promote the channel. So there you go. So I will be putting a link to the new merch store for the Debsterism channel. We'll keep adding stuff to it as more, as I get more time to make a new design. But yeah, that's what you can order. Start ordering stuff. I don't know, probably about 10 orders already came in. I was surprised. People were like, oh yeah, I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting. So there you go. This is the link. So you guys can bookmark that and, just take your time looking at the stuff. Hey, Shay, looking at the stuff and, picking what you might be interested in. The way for the language. YouTube just do not be feeling the way that I talk. Finally, we've been talking about this. Me and Shay talked about this probably about 3 years ago. And I was like, yeah. I'll do it. I'll get around to it. And finally I did. Took me all this time. But guess what? Candace said that since she messed up so bad, I have to do more letters today. So there's 28 questions on today's show. I fussed and fumed about that. I said, I don't want to do more than 25. But I guess in light of the fact that it's only her fault this time. I had something to do that popped up at the last minute too. But let me tell you about my drama that happened on Monday. Okay, so I'm driving, right? I see the light getting ready to change. And so I hit my brakes, right? Because, you don't want to go through, if those of you who saw my video about driving in the hood, you understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so you don't want to go through a red light. Not in East Oakland. You might not live to tell the tale. But let me tell you what happened. And ultimately, I went through a red light. So I stop at this light, right? And there's like these little seats, like this, I don't know, like a sculpture or something at the corner, right? And so I saw this dude just sitting there. I wasn't really tripping. He's sitting there. So what? He wasn't bothering me. Okay, but by the time I stop, this fool jumps up and runs to my car and tries to get in the back seat. He's pulling on the handle of the door, the passenger side back door. Of course, the car was all locked up, but so I'm like, what is that sound? Right? I turn around and I see this fool yanking on my door. I'm like, oh, hell no. And then before I could even really say anything, he reached up and tried to, climb through he put his arms through the sunroof. And so I could only assume what he was trying to do was climb through there. Honey, I took off. I mashed that gas so hard and I went through a red light to get away from that fool. Luckily, nobody hit me because it would have totally been my fault. I had a valid reason to do it, but it would have still been my fault, to cause like numerous accidents. But I didn't even think of that. I just reacted. I cannot let this fool get in the car with me. Does he want me? Does he want my car? Does he have a weapon? You know what I mean? I didn't know what to think. All I knew was I wasn't going to be around long enough for him to find out. So Deb mashed the gas and I jetted through that intersection about 80 miles an hour because, Honda's got some good pickup. I shot through that intersection whipped that corner. And I was like, oh my God. Yeah, I've been having PTSD, I think, since then because I haven't really been sleeping real good. Yeah, I've never seen no shit like that. It's like you just hanging out on the corner trying to jump in people's cars. But so anyway, this is a word of caution for everybody. As you guys ride around the summertime, the global warming, it's going to be warmer. People are going to have their windows down in their cars. Lock your doors as soon as you get in the car. Now, a lot of newer cars, you got to mash the thing twice to unlock the other doors. Just do it one time. It only opens, unlocks the passenger side. The driver's door. That's ideal. But if you have an older car where it's going to unlock all the doors, you better mash the button as soon as you sit your butt in that seat before you even start the car. Lock all your doors and spread the word to your girls, because that was some new kind of nonsense that I've never experienced. And I'm plenty old and been driving all over the world, and nobody ever did any mess like that to me before. So I just want you guys to be aware, you know, windows gonna be down. You might have kids in the back seat. You keep the windows up to turn your AC on. I mean, you know, if you open your sunroof, I bet you I'm not gonna open my sunroof all the way anymore unless I'm like in the suburbs or something. Not in Oakland. I'm gonna open a little crack like that, just enough to get some air in, but not enough to let a whole body in. But I had it all the way open, you know, because it was a sunny day, and I'm like working on my tan and stuff. But I tell you, well, yeah, I know. But I mean, this guy, he looked like a bum. I mean, you know, I don't think he's never watched my show and didn't know who I was. He either saw a woman in the car by herself and thought he was going to get in to take her or the car or both, or he had some other, you know, maybe rob me or something and he could get my purse or something like that. Because, you know, a lot of women put their purses on the passenger seat next to them. I never do that. My stuff is always in the trunk. My computer, I put everything in the trunk. Then I get in the car. The only thing I bring in the car with me is my phone, because I like to play YouTube music. I have what you call it, that satellite music, Sirius, but I think I'm gonna cancel. I don't really like it. I like YouTube music because it plays what I want to hear. So, honey, that's what I got. That's what we starting off the show with, that wild story. So you guys be careful, okay, with your windows down and your sunroofs open. Be mindful, which your friend over here was not, and learned a very valuable lesson. So question number 1, let's get started. We got 28 questions tonight, and that means we're going to be here forever in 2 days. Notice my new logo. As soon as I made it for What the Fuck Wednesday, guess what? The show's on Thursday. I just cannot get it together. Okay, question number 1, female in the 18 to 21 age group from the UK. Summary of issue: I want to drop out of university for the skilled trades. I am currently in university my first year for engineering, and I barely passed my courses. I want to drop out and get an apprenticeship. Some cons I can think of is that I'm lacking muscle-wise and probably will not be able to lift heavy things. I'm also unsure, as most of the work is labor-intensive, so it will be challenging. Duh. I don't know if I should stay in university because I don't study. I don't like to study. And I notice I'm much better at labs than any theoretical stuff. I don't know if I should try harder or something else. I don't want to waste this chance I've been given at getting a degree. I'm not trying hard enough at all, and I feel like I'm just wasting my time and money. I've worked minimum wage jobs and know what it's like standing on your feet for 8 hours a day, but I also don't mind the labor. My parents want me to do university because they want what is best. My dad is also in the trades, and he wants me to go to university. I think there are other ways to be successful in life, but I am unsure and scared. I've considered the trade since high school, and it's always been a backup plan for me if I fall out of uni. Any advice or personal experience? No, I mean, my thing is, I think as many people as possible, male or female, should have skills in both arenas. You should have some level of education, even if it's just what we over here in the United States call community college. It's 2 years of college. You get what's called an associate's degree, an AA. 2 years of college that, you know, gives you a pretty good foundation for stuff. And then you can use it if you decide later that you want to go back and get a 4-year degree. You already got the 2 years under your belt, and it's just 2 more years. Alternatively, though, I think you're very smart to consider a trade, especially if that's where your interest lies, because going to university is not the only route to success. I'm fully in agreement with you there. And some of these trades make more than the people who went to university. So what I think you should do is, you know, while you're out of school, you have a break, contact some of the labor unions or some of the schools that educate people. They have, like, you know, those programs to train you to be whatever. And think about what you're interested in. Would you be interested in being a mechanic, an auto mechanic, airline mechanic? or I don't know, plumber, electrician, whatever, learning woodwork, carpentry, think about what your interests are and then go and start investigating what you need to become that thing. But you don't really say what you're interested in, you just say what you're not interested in. So I don't really know how to help direct you, but that's the path that I think that you should take. Also, if you're interested in doing lab stuff, they usually have lab techs and lab assistants, pharmacy assistants, and stuff like that. That might be of interest to you too. So whatever interests you, go and look into it further while you're between breaks from school, and then make a decision. Don't waste money going to college if that's not where your interest lies. You're just gonna flunk out. That's just a waste of time. It's taking up a spot that somebody could use who really wants to be there. Okay. Question number 2. This is a female in the 36 to 42 age group from Australia. Summary of issue. I need advice about my new man. Well, hello there. Canadian brother done showed up. Haven't seen you in a long time. Okay, so she says, I'm divorced for 2 years now, and I have 2 children who are 5 and 9. My new man is honestly the kindest guy I've ever met and the most loving. He showers me with compliments constantly and is very affectionate. He's keen to meet my kids. Oh, is he now? Examples of his kindness include being very helpful in my house and fixing things, cooking for me, being very available and reliable, giving me small gifts, and asking how I am, etc. He also looked after my pet for me when I was away and lent me his car when mine broke down. My situation is that I don't have much money, but I'm on 50K and I have a mortgage and some financial help from my ex, about 100 to 300 pounds a month. Because of cost of living, this covers me, the kids, and I have some money to go out, book cheap trips, but that's it. Now, my new man is very sweet and generous, but he lives in a council house, has his own business, which doesn't make much money at the moment, and is on income support. Is that like welfare? He pays very small maintenance for his kids, but seems happy in this situation mainly. Oh, this was long. He used to have a difficult past and is turning his life around for the last 3, 4 years, looking after himself and rebuilding his life. What it means, though, is that when I plan a trip, I have already been slightly subsidizing him, which I'm worried will drag me down financially long term. Also, I feel that he would be happy to live with me long term, but how would this work? Even if his business gets better, he doesn't seem to think it would bring him much money. He doesn't want to go back to his previous job, as I think he enjoys working for himself and what he does. He lacks confidence in trying to expand his business or to increase his profits. The second dilemma is about our differences in political beliefs and general knowledge. He says himself that he just was never curious about current affairs, so his knowledge is based on what he hears from his family, who take their knowledge from the sun. They are all very sweet people, but that means things like, quote, Britain is full, quote, jobs should be kept for people in the UK, etc. This is problematic for me as I have a diverse background and takes these kinds of beliefs as to heart as a personal insult almost. When we talk about this, he feels guilty for not educating himself more in the past. But Deb, I really went into dating thinking that I'm not going to get myself a project as I've done before with my ex, where I helped him and taught him loads and was left with not much. Intimacy is fine, but also there was some ED from time to time, but it seems to be improving. We are both 40 something. Is it normal to have doubts? I feel that I love him and maybe just need to keep getting to know him. We've had lots of fun together with really fun activities, some of them initiated by him, but a lot of them initiated and paid for by me, although he pays for drinks, etc. He also takes me out for cheaper things, which I guess is fair, as there is a difference in income, but I'm also aware that I'm spending money I should have to be saving in my situation. I'm also aware my ex used me financially, so don't want to repeat the pattern. What should I do? Well, you really seem to like this guy. Are you guys supposed to be a couple? I mean, did you agree that you was only going to be seeing him? You don't say that. Is he like your man, like, official and stuff? If you had all these doubts, why did you agree to that? See, that you balling backwards. A woman who is not single parent. I mean, their dad is around, but you got them primarily full responsibility for them except when he has visitation. You not making, you ain't balling like that. 50,000. I mean, I don't know what it's like over there, but 50,000 here is not much, especially here in the Bay Area. It's a joke. You're gonna be like looking for food stamps and collecting cans and driving for Lyft and Uber to supplement your income. But and probably some other parts of the country is probably fine, but it's not definitely not enough to support you, 2 kids, and some random dude that you picked up. I'm gonna say this: it's time to have an honest conversation with him. I don't understand why women you be in these relationships, you sleeping with these dudes, you letting them all up in your house, you letting them be exposed to your children, all this kind of stuff, but you're scared to have a conversation with them and tell them what you need and what you want and what how they stepping up. Because my thing is this: I'm not gonna be paying for a man for nothing. I mean, if it's your birthday, Christmas, or something like that, you know, I might, because it's like a little celebration where I'll get you a gift or what. But just to be paying for you because you want to go on a trip with me and you don't have no money, I'm going on a trip by myself, me and my kids, and we'll see you when we get back. That's the way that would roll. I would never pay for a man to go anywhere with me. I'm not that desperate for male company. Okay, because you can talk to his ass on what they call it, Zoom or whatever, while you on there and show him the sites and stuff for free. Okay, you don't have to bring him with you. He's 40 something and he's messed up his life and he's just getting back on track and he don't have no money. All these other things are great, but you need to have a discussion with him about what you need and your concerns, and let him know, this is not going to work for me long term because I need to be putting money aside for my kids' education and future, not spending it on trips and things for a grown man. I can't do that anymore. I'm not going to do that anymore. So I'm not sure what that's going to mean for you, because I'll be going on things with my children and you won't be able to go unless you have the money to fund it yourself. But that's how it's going to go starting today. That's what I would tell him. And then if he didn't like it, then he could take his hush puppies and his backpack and whatever else he got at my house and he could just go. One thing I just don't do is men who try to sponge off of women in any way, shape, or form, in any capacity. I just don't do broke men. I just don't do it. And he sit up there talking about, well, I have my business and I don't want to do any more work and it's fine the way it is. Well, it might be fine for you, but it's not fine for me. And so you need to figure, if you're not going to do that, then you need to figure out what you're going to do about getting a better job then. But either way, you need to come up with some more money to contribute more to this relationship. Otherwise, there's no future here, Buster. Bud, home skillet. Yes, it's definitely hefty bag time. Because he sounds like he dusty in the UK. UK dusty. I wonder if they have hefty bags over there. Yes, Shay corrected the and say, what the fuck Thursday? I just looked up to see that, girl. We just scandalous. It went all the way to Thursday from Tuesday. Oh my God. Okay, you guys. What was I gonna do? Oh yeah. If now you see how this works, right? And if you want to submit a question, this is what you do. You click the link, is like in the show description down below, and you'll scroll down to near the bottom and you'll see a link that says, get free advice or something like that. But anyway, that's what you do. You click that and it's going to take you to a form, and then you fill out the form, and then you get to be on the show, hopefully. If Evil Candace chooses your letter, then your letter will be on the show. That's how it works. I don't have anything to do with it. So let's move on to question number 3. This is a young man in the 22 to 27 age group. Summary of issue. What do you ladies mean when you say emotionally available? I've been seeing this more and more on women's online dating profiles, and I'm not sure that I know what it means. I'm pretty truthful about the fact that I'm looking for something short-term / casual. I usually tend to swipe left on anyone who indicates that they're looking for something beyond that. But what does emotionally available mean when women put it in an online dating profile? Is this the same as looking for a relationship? I would interpret it that way, because otherwise, you don't need to be getting your emotions involved in it. it's just for the sheer entertainment value. There's no emotional connection there. So if someone says emotional available to me, since you're asking me, now you can look in there and see what they have to say. But to me, a woman who's looking for a man who's emotionally available means that she wants a man who's going to open up his heart, who's going to share himself with her, who's going to want and desire and be able to provide intimacy on a level far deeper than physical. That to me is what that means. So yeah, it is some kind of relationship. It might not be like leading to, moving in together in marriage or anything, but it's definitely some kind of, she wants a deeper connection with that guy than just the physical. So if you're just looking for some short-term physical fun, then you need to pass by every woman who says that she's looking for a man who is emotionally available, because she's looking for something deeper and more serious than what you're offering, sir. That's my interpretation of it. But, see what they have to say and see what, if they have a disagree. Question number 4, young lady in the 22 to 27 age group. Remember, we got 28 questions today. I'm being punished. So we got 3 extra questions. She says, I'm 6 months pregnant. My partner admitted to cheating on me a few weeks ago, giving me an STI. Oh, did he now? I've caught at least 2 STIs waiting for further results to come back. So that means what? You got tests and you have 2 and you're pregnant. Wow. He slept with someone a month ago, only telling me now because the woman told him that she has something. He would have never told me until he was scared for himself and then maybe felt bad because I am pregnant. What do I do? This is my first baby. I've lost 2 in the past due to ectopic pregnancies and miscarriages. One being his, and now I feel that he's put me at risk again. Even if the STIs he's given me aren't threatening, he could have caught anything from her and given it to me. Him cheating and not protecting himself is now affecting me and my child. The fact that he stepped out of our relationship should be enough for me to leave him, right? I don't want my pregnancy story to be daddy cheated on me, but that is my story now. Do I stay? Do I leave him? I have a good family around me who will be so helpful for me and my baby in the future, but I never wanted a one-parent house. I grew up in one, although my mom was amazing. I needed my dad there and didn't get it. We just got a house together just before he cheated on me. So that adds to everything I need to think about. We have a 1-year lease. Okay. First of all, let me just roll back a little bit, because now, Candace is saving time, is not typing all, she's not putting in some of it, which is all the locations and all the other stuff that we have. She's leaving all that out and just putting the age and the gender. At least till further notice. So I don't know where in the world you are, which would have been helpful. But I'm going to say this. You talking about you never wanted a single parent household. You didn't want a story to be daddy cheated and this and that. You wanted somebody who, you didn't want a one parent house, but that's all you had. Because guess what? You weren't married. You talking about a partner. That's like a boyfriend. That's nothing. You must have never heard my videos where I talk about boyfriends. Boyfriends ain't shit. You don't plan your life around a boyfriend. You don't buy a house with a boyfriend. You don't invest money with a boyfriend. You don't have a joint account with a boyfriend. You don't buy a dog with a boyfriend. You definitely don't buy a car with a boyfriend. You keep boyfriend stuff and youth stuff, finances and all that kind of stuff separate, because why? You're not married. You're 2 single people in a crazy situation. Unless you visit an attorney and you have legal documents drawn up about who gets what and all the stuff, if you guys split and everything's spelled out and stuff, if you don't do that, you just letting yourself be drifting around through life like a tumbleweed based on your feelings. You're an idiot. And I'm going to straight tell you that you're stupid. That's how come. I mean, it's not that's not the STD thing, but the fact that you're going to be leaving this dude because he's nasty. He don't give a shit about you or that baby. Otherwise, he would have, at least if he was going to cheat, strapped up so that he would make sure he didn't bring anything home to a woman who's carrying his child. But he didn't even care enough about you to think that. So, I mean, the fact that you're even wondering if you should leave him is just amazing to me. He done gave you, like you said, already know you confirmed with 2 diseases, and now you waiting for the other results to see if you got a third, possibly a fourth. This is a nasty ass motherfucker. I don't know what else to tell you. And you know, when you have somebody who cares that little about himself, there's no way in the world he could care about you. You have a man who's, I don't know, he's on some kind of self-destructive, low self-esteem trip because he doesn't care enough about himself to protect his life and his health. And therefore, he does not care about yours or that child's either. I hope you understand what time it is. It's very unfortunate that you got pregnant by this idiot. I understand what you girls be doing, all these pregnancies by these random miscellaneous fools. That's why they have abortion pills, day after, what they call it, morning after pills, and abortions. You don't have babies with idiots. I don't give a fuck how much you love him. He didn't love you enough to want to be married to you. You don't give him, bless his life with a child. That's husband rights. That's not boyfriend material. Boyfriends don't get kids. Boyfriends don't get houses. They don't get pets that you know, designer dogs. They don't get nothing. No credit, no investments, no nothing, because they're just a boyfriend. Y'all be putting way too much on these raggedy ass boyfriends that come and go, 3 or 4 of them in a year. And you just be trying to make every one of them into something serious and permanent. Break the fuck up. Dumb girls. I swear, just stupid. Oh, how many times do we have to say this? I just can't say, I just don't even know what to do. It's like I just feel like a broken record. They don't fucking listen and constantly doing the same dumb shit over and over and over again and getting themselves in the same stupid situations that thousands of dumb women did before them. And do they think that it's going to be magically different? The stupid situations going to be less stupid for them? Or it's going to be magically okay because it's them? I don't even know what to say. I'm just, I'm really disappointed. Let me just put it that way. I'm disappointed. I've been doing this for 30 years. 30 years. And do these girls listen? And where are their parents telling them this kind of stuff and guiding them properly on how to make smart life choices and decisions that make sense? Parenting, I don't know, people see this is what I'm saying. These kind of people have a baby and they're stupid, right? They're stupid and they have a kid, and then the kid grows up and be stupid too because it's got stupid parents. So the stupid tendencies just continue and grow and multiply generation after generation. Question number 5. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group. Summary of issue. What do I do with a disrespectful girlfriend who nags all the time? You dump her ass. Why is this even a question? I have a girlfriend who I truly and dearly love. She helps me sometimes with my laundry and cooking and works 9 to 9, 6 days a week. As for me, I work remotely with 3 organizations and I assist her financially, provide food sometimes, and provide her with some things that money can't buy, get in specific scenarios. This particular girl is someone I plan to marry. I even renovated my apartment to meet her demands as a condition to marry her. She's promising but very stubborn and she nags a lot. I can't make simple corrections. I can't give my personal opinions to certain things, and she feels she's always right. I recently tried correcting her about being disrespectful towards me by providing scenarios where she's done that, only for her to tag it as a personal attack by even mentioning if she wanted a man to be with, I wasn't in her scope of men, that she'd rate me a 2 out of 10. That, however, it was only because of love. Pitted love I could detect. Pitied. Okay, I'm sorry. I also noticed that she's been texting another guy claiming it's just a casual chat, which I feel as a man, having read through some of the chats, there's a potential risk of cheating. To prove this, she did not want me to read the chats or have her phone read through. As a man, being honest with her and trying to make the relationship work, do you feel it's important to reconsider this relationship if it is actually worth it, someone I plan to spend the rest of my life with? I'm a simple guy who respects this relationship by not ever considering cheating on her or being rude, but it feels sometimes in my heart something tells me she's not the right woman for me. Well, honey, it's telling me the same thing. You need to cuss her out. First of all, stop giving her money. You helping her out financially, stop doing that immediately. Tell her that, since I'm a 2 out of 10, I'm not a man, then I don't feel any obligation to help you like a man would. I'm not giving you shit. I'm not taking you nowhere. I'm not doing you no favors. And I'm definitely not giving you no money because I'm a 2 out of 10, which means that I'm not even a man in your eyes. So that motherfucker that you've been texting, you take all your shit over there and you nag and yell and control him because I'm done. That's what you need to tell her. She would have more respect for you because the way that things are growing right now, you're coming across as a milk toast. That's one of my favorite things to call men who are just a little bit mushy. You're milk toast, sir. There's no way in this world. She was disrespectful. You tried correcting her, and she tagged it as a personal attack. Then that's when you're supposed to say, well, look here, you ugly, stupid bitch. Let me just tell you how this is gonna go. Get your shit and get the fuck out of my house. Let me show you how disrespectful really looks. I was trying to deal with you in a sane and sensible way. But now I'm not. And just read or talk about everything that's wrong with her, what's wrong with her parents, what's wrong with her job, how come she don't have no money, she works 12 hours a day, she's low, she's a loser. I would say everything about her. I would just dig up stuff to hurt her feelings. You know why? Because she said that I was a 2 out of 10. And when somebody would talk to me like that, I'm going to look at you and I'm going to start calculating your emotional and mental depth. I'm going to hurt every feeling that you've ever had. I'm going to dig around and find feelings that you haven't even known that you had since you were 2 months old. And I'm going to hurt them too. And then I'm going to move on and I'm going to hurt your mother's feelings for birthing your loser ass. And I'm going to birth your daddy's like, well, you should have just jetted that into the bathtub or the shower or something. And look at this fucking mess that you made that you call a daughter. I would talk about all of them. Send her out of my life in tears and then feel real good about it since I'm a 2 out of 10. And she have to text another dude. See, you just accepting too much disrespect. You better grow up there real quick and cuss this bitch out and get her out of your life. Don't give her shit else. And make sure she knows if she got a key to your place, when she's in the bathroom, take it off her key ring. And then when she leaves, you just lock the door behind her and throw her shit out the window and tell her to stay away from you. I don't know if it's hilarious or not, but I'm just telling you, this is how I roll. You're not going to talk to me crazy like that. We're not going to do that. And if you do, you run the risk, like I said, don't have me knowing stuff about you because you're getting ready to hear all of it back. You know how I caution y'all that don't be telling people, detailed stuff about you. This is a time when if you deal with somebody like me, they're going to throw it right back in your face. But see, I'm cool as long as you act right. But the second that you cross the line and you violate my boundaries and you say some fucked up shit to me, I'm going to throw it all back out and just fling it in your face and all the bad decisions and bad choices, poor choices, abuse you took, everything. I'm going to throw it all in your face. All of it. Question number 6. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group. Summary of issue. Why do men always ask if I'm seeing other men? Every single date, and she put period between it. Every single date I go on, the guy, and we're talking 24 to 28-ish in age range, always asks me some variation of : do you go on a lot of dates? Are you seeing a lot of other dudes? Are you screwing other dudes? How many guys are you seeing? You've been on a lot of dates? Some more rude than others. One guy who seemed really sweet at first asked me mid-date, so you're probably getting pounded by a lot of guys, right? See, the day would have ended right there. Why do you let them talk to you like this? There's only one guy who asked me that question in the past 3 years, and I still talk to him sometimes, partly because of this. Even a casual guy was seen asked me last time, so what you been up to? Screwing random guys? The thing is, my dating life is incredibly boring. I used to go on like one date every month or every other month last year, but I gave up on dating in October. I rarely see anyone or even talk to anyone. Honestly, this question is part of the reason I hate dating. I find it super offensive and it always throws me off and ruins the day for me. I assume they think I'm attractive enough to have multiple suitors, but seriously? So rude. Even if I answer and say I don't see anyone else, it turns into them like, really? Why? It feels like they're trying to figure out what's wrong with me. I always dress conservatively for dates and I never even mention another man. I wouldn't want to hear about their girls. I don't understand. At this point, I don't think any guy's going to want to date me because they probably think I have 10 boyfriends. What would make everyone ask this? Am I taking more offense than I should? No, you're not taking enough offense. One thing is, okay, when they ask this kind of stuff, this is what you're supposed to do. Okay, you low self-esteem having motherfucker. You sit up there thinking about all the other men who want me, but you're the one that's sitting here. Instead of you being happy that you're the one that I'm giving my time and attention to, you're more focused on other dudes. Are you gay? But you want some of them? Is that why you thinking about some other man's dick? Please tell me what's behind this question. I would have to say some rude shit right back. It's like you sitting up there comparing yourself to some other man. Do you want to know if he's doing it better than you? His stroke game is better. His shit's bigger. What? He lasts longer? Is that what you really want to know? Because that's what it sounds like. You knee deep in my sex life, motherfucker. It's not part of what your conversation. You're having that role in my life, and now you never will because you're stupid and you're rude and you're just trash. And then I'll get my shit and leave. You know what I mean? See, to me, I swear, I mean, I've been like this since I was in high school. When, dudes started asking about who else you seeing or what else is going on with some other dude. Okay, I'm not going to say the word, but it starts with an F and it's got two G's in it. That was a word in the 80s. That's what people said. That word has fallen out of fashion. So I'm not going to say it because it's no longer politically correct. But in the 80s, that was a term that we used, and that's what I would call them. Say you just, an F whatever, and you worried about some other man's dick. You thinking about that. Like, but you want to try it out? You jealous because I'm getting it and you ain't? What's really going on here? I'm not going to say it. I caught myself. I caught myself in time. But, because words change, society changes. And so, at the time, that was a common word. Nobody, really took offense to it. Not like they do now. Now you can't say nothing. So, but you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's what I would call them. And they would get all offended. No, I was like, no, dude, you worried about what some other man's packing and what he's doing to me in bed, that you jealous because it's not happening to you? I just don't understand men asking that kind of question. That just don't seem right. Deb got some rest finally. I took a nap today because I haven't been sleeping since my little car door open moment. I don't know. I was having, I think, PTSD or something. I just was like not really sleeping and just was busy, busy, busy. So today I was just exhausted. So I took a nap before the show. So now I'm feeling myself. First, I got on my shirt. Oh, for those of you who came here late, this is a shirt. This is one of the offerings from our new merch store. And this is what the whole design looks like. You can't really see it on me, but I'll show it to you again. This is what it looks like. That means what's in it for me, right? There's a video on this channel with that title, and it goes into great explanation about how women should select a partner. And you should ask some hard questions, including primarily that one. Well, if I get with you, what's in it for me? And I think if more of the women who wrote our advice column did that, they wouldn't be with these fools that they wasting time writing to us about. Yeah, Shay just put the link in there so you can go and check it out. Okay, so let's move on to question number 7 of 28. She's a young lady in the 18 to 21 age group. Summary of issue. How do I deal with a friend who keeps threatening to punch me? Wait, what? I live with my boyfriend and a roommate. We were in a friend group last year, including one other friend I'll call Mike. We are all young in the 20 to 21-year-old age range. My roommate's still friends with Mike, while me and my boyfriend grew apart from him. But he still comes over because my roommate invites him to our house. Whenever he comes over, he's been getting drunk and constantly, quote, joking about punching me in the face. He even mimics punches and does the punching movements at my face without hitting me. It started to piss me off because this is the 3rd time he's come to my house and did this. Mike is also in a boxing club at our college, and he told me to join so he could, quote, beat the shit out of me. The first time he came over and got drunk, he even joked that he would punch the F out of me. This guy never, ever has a normal conversation with me. It's always about comparing me to other short Asian men and women, saying, quote, I keep seeing you around campus. I saw you the other day, but it's just some Asian femboy. He even said that I'm too short and weak, that I look and dress like a little boy, how I don't look like a typical girl, how I look like a lesbian, etc. Every man that witnesses this just ignores it or doesn't take it seriously. Of course, they don't care because they don't have joke punches flying to their face or get made fun of for the way they dress and look. Whenever I bring up a serious conversation, I get made fun of, get laughed at, or get mocked. Like my roommate usually takes out his phones and starts taking photos of me whenever I'm pissed off. And Mike has even said, "What the fuck are you on about now? Get off my dick." Anyways, I'm tired of this and everyone ignoring it. How should I deal with this or approach this? You should break up with this boyfriend and move out. That's what you should do. If not, even transfer schools. You know why? It's my thing is either this dude is extremely racist or he's like a little kid and he likes you and he's jealous. So it's one of those two. Which one, I don't know. But the fact that he's threatening violence, I would also record that the very next time when you see that he's there. Turn your recorder on your phone and record his voice and record and to see if you can get him to say his name and ask him why he always is threatening to hit you. Get all of that on record. And then I would file a police report on his ass. Say this. Now, why do you always say this to me? This is like the 10th time. You know, I would say stuff like that to goad him on. So he would just talk and I would be recorded. It would be in my pocket or in my hand or something. He wouldn't know I was recording. And I would take that to police and say, this man has been threatening me. And I think it is a race-based thing here because he always talks about my ethnicity. And I want to get a restraining order so that he is no longer allowed in the residence where I live. And so the roommate can, if he want to see Mike, can take his ass over there to Mike's house, but the restraining order will be in effect. So dude can never come up in your house again. I would do that. And if that, short of that, then, I mean, really my first thing, really, I would just leave this boyfriend, leave this house, leave all those motherfuckers alone and just move away, just ditch them. But like I said, you would need to change schools because of the fact that, then whatever he's feeling like he's going to do, he would be able to do it because you wouldn't have any, quote, protector, although you really don't have any now. Short of that, you better go find you some Asian dudes who know some kung fu, some of them Asian gangsters. We have a bunch of them in San Francisco. Chinese boys that they ain't no joke. I had to be messing with them dudes and let them wail on them a little bit. You see, he think he want to box and stuff. See how your boxing fares up against some double black belts, and see how good your punches land then. That you want to punch somebody, punch me, and so they can kick his ass into oblivion. So, I mean, there's all kind of ways to look at this, but I think the first approach is to record him, whether you decide to leave or stay. You want a record of what's going on, because especially if the landlord tries to jam you up for why you're leaving, you say, this is why I'm afraid for my life. And you let them hear that recording. Say, this is not the first time. It's just the first time I've recorded it. So I need to get away from these people before something really bad happens to me. And then they'll let you out of the lease because, it would be a matter of life or death, the way that you're looking at it. But that's what I would advise. In Sacramento too, yes, honey. I was in high school. I used to know these kids who were in an Asian gang, and they were little, they were little high school students. But one of them's girlfriend or sister, I mean, some relation he had with this girl, and one of the football players, this white boy, got G with this girl, right? And said some shit to her he had no business saying to her. And three of them little mini Asian men, because they were tiny, they rolled up on that big old white boy. He was burly and stuff. He was the size of two of them. And they stabbed the fuck out of him and whacked him upside the head with a motorcycle chain. Blood was everywhere. And I'm sitting out on the bench, right? It happened maybe 10, 12 feet from where I was sitting. And then the security people came by. Did you see something? Nope, I sure didn't. Well, while you were sitting right there, I said, yeah, but I was reading my book. I didn't really pay attention till I heard the screams, and by then it was too late. So I don't know what happened. Lying my ass off because I saw my two little goons I used to hang with, doing it. And they saw me see them. But they knew I wasn't going to say nothing because dude was out of pocket. They stabbed the fuck out that white boy, doink, doink, doink a couple of times and then busted him upside the head. So he wasn't playing football no more. So any scholarship he may have thought he was going to get went up in smoke. But that's what he got because he should have kept his goddamn mouth closed. You don't be talking crazy racist shit to people. You don't know who their backup is. And them the kind that's crazy. I mean, they'll come and burn your whole house down with you and all your relatives in it. Leave people alone. You just don't know who you messing with. Yeah, they was crazy. I'm telling you. And looked old. I mean, they were a trip. And we 16, 17, 18 years old in high school. They looked like they was in their late 20s because they just had so much they had seen some stuff. Let me just put it that way. And they was just hard and cold and just I didn't fuck with them like that. They was like my quote, my friends. And I kept it that way. So yeah, I didn't see shit. I don't know what you're talking about. Question number 8. This is a young lady in the 22 to 27 age group. Oh, look, she put some stuff. She's African American. She's a Libra and she's from Pembroke Pines, Florida. This is probably the only one that's got all this. The male in question is in the 28 to 34 age group, and he's a Leo and he's also African American. Summary of issue. Please put me in my right mind, Miss Deb, because I've obviously lost all sense. Oh, you wrote on the good day because I'm already in correcting folks' minds mode. Hello, Miss Deb. I'm a longtime listener of yours, and I need you to curse me out. Oh, I am no longer with the man, but I met him at a party. Within 6 months, a lot happened between us. The major thing was he met my parents and we decided to move in together. Then he kicked me out within 2 weeks because he didn't like how I was going about expressing myself because he would play on his video game for 15 plus hours all day. But he wasn't working. Before that, he decided to cancel the plans of us moving in because he didn't like how I was upset with the way that he interacted with other women on a boat party we were on together for his birthday. I blocked him on everything, and another 6 months go by. I see him at a party, and we speak. He tells me that he moved down to Florida. He is originally from Alabama, to try and work things out with me because I have the traits he'd want in a woman as far as having fun, etc. But now we've gone back and forth, and I honestly believe it's because of you that I stopped myself from being even more stupid than I already was. Just recently, he lent me his car, because he has two, for a few days to get to work because mine wasn't running. But I upset him and he asked for it back. If I express something that's wrong, he'll turn around and say I don't take accountability and list all the things I've done that basically justifies his reaction. I do the silent treatment at times, but have gotten better with communicating. But I know deep down something is wrong with me. How can I tell myself I want to be in a loving, happy relationship if I choose to tolerate people like this? I know I would cause arguments as well because I feel I deserve better. And he isn't what I want in a man, but if it was nice having someone around for a while, please chew me out. I feel that deep down I want to believe I am deserving of more, and this is probably by far the worst treatment I've ever accepted from a man, but something in me keeps me going back to the abuse, even though I know deep down this is the opposite of a healthy relationship. I am a fool and stupid, but I want to do better and do right by myself for myself. Please advise me on what videos to watch and what to work on within myself. I need help. I don't have good role models. Thank you in advance. All the videos on boundaries and self-esteem. Go to the top of the channel and type in boundaries. It's going to list them. Start clicking. You go back to the channel. If you do those, list all the videos that have self-esteem in the title. Start watching them. Because I don't know what's wrong with you, why you are doing this to yourself. He must have some amazing dick. That's all I can say, because you have lost your mind. I don't really deal with Leo men. And yeah, they're really good like that, I have to admit. Aries are my favorite. Leos are second when it comes to, those kind of things. However, Leo men are fucking assholes. All of them. I've never met one who's not. There's no way in this world that I would ever be with a Leo man. There's not going to happen. Never. One asshole in a relationship is enough, and that will be me. Thank you. So I have to have a man who's cool. Like my husband, he was cool. He was calm. He was collected. The little jerk in the relationship was me. The little fireball, that was me. So his earth kind of dampened my flame a little bit. It worked. My flame lit him up a little bit, so he wasn't quite as much of a stick in the mud. So that really worked really well for us. But two flaming people in the same relationship, no. It's not going to work. So are you brave to deal with a Leo man in the first place? Now, the second thing is, why did you go through all the trouble of blocking him, and then you see him at a party and you speak and you unblock him, obviously, and get yourself re-involved? What the fuck were you thinking? Were you thinking? When you block people, that is permanent. That never unblocks. That is your way of getting idiots and riffraff out of your life. But what did you do? You unblocked them and let them right back in. Have you ever asked yourself why you did that? I'm curious. But you didn't have enough shit going on in your life? Do you need a second job? You need to go back to school. You need some hobbies and interests. What is it that you need in your life that you were supplanting this nonsense to replace? You need to do something positive with your time and energy and not waste it on fools. Now, you did say that he's already gone and, you already left. And I mean, he already left and you already moved past this, which is good. That's the first step. You put it behind you. But what you have to do is make sure, like by watching all these videos that I recommended, that you're going to never do this again. I'll give you one without chewing you up too bad, because, I think every woman needs to have one kind of fucked up man in her life so she exactly knows what she doesn't want. It's just a rite of passage. We all do it. Mine was a dude that I had to fight my way out the bathroom that time when the woman was saying that he was dating her and she trying to beat my ass in the bathroom and stuff. That was my moment. He was my bad boy. But you don't, as you get older, you don't keep doing that. You don't keep making that mistake. You can make new ones, but you don't make the same one. And you did. You made the same. You went back to the mistake and picked it up and just polished it off and just picked it up and put it back in your life again. So think about that. Like I said, I give you one because in my mind, I think every woman goes through at least one of those, but it should only be one. So now once you did that, you're like, oh, hell no, this was a nightmare. I'm never doing that shit again. And you know what to look for now. The signs, as soon as the new dude starts acting any way, shape, or form like that clown, you already know the signs and symptoms and you just deuce out, right? That's what the way it's supposed to be. You're supposed to use your bad boy experience as a learning tool, not something to take forward. I just don't understand it. Yeah, I just had that one and that was enough for me. I'm like, whoo, I'm going back to my Poindexter, my little students, the MBA, that's like the law students and stuff. Those engineers, that's the kind of people I used to always date. Real square dudes, corny. But I like that. I know, just like I said, I think just me in a relationship, being a little hood rat and acting a fool, one person is enough. Just one. That's going to be me. Yeah, I just don't understand. So you think about why you did that and what's going on with you. I can't answer that. I'm not psychic. But like I said, you get one. That's it. You better get this shit straight, chick. Don't be doing this to yourself again. Question number 9. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group. Summary of issue: ongoing disagreement about division of household and child care responsibilities. My relationship is under a lot of stress and perhaps it might be coming to an end. Both my partner and I are finding it impossible to find mutual agreement on what we find is acceptable with sharing responsibilities around the house. I am told I don't do enough to support her around the house and with other duties, and I need some outside opinions on what I feel is correct or if it's wrong. Okay, so you guys chime in too. I work 5 days a week, sometimes 6 10-hour shifts. Ooh, that's 60 hours. So my morning consists of getting our 2 oldest ready for school, and I do the school run before getting into work for the day. After work, I will normally go get food for tea and cook for the family. She's never been one to cook, and I enjoy cooking, so I don't mind. Albeit sometimes it's just something to throw in the oven and wait. We also have a newborn, and we might have a night on, night off routine. One night I'll do the night feeds, and next she will do them. I will do a feed or nappy change and spend some time with the baby when the other kids are fed and in bed, regardless of if it's my night or not. Recently, I've been extremely tired and have fallen asleep on the sofa for an hour or so after the above has been done. There has been washing and cleaning to do, but with my job, I have been mentally and physically drained. My partner tells me I don't do enough to help her. She isn't working and hasn't been for a while, and I know she hates this being the case. We're now at a point where we aren't talking. She feels I don't do enough for her. I'm lazy, even being called useless. She no longer shares a bed with me, and I'm at a complete loss with what to do. Am I wrong in believing I do more than enough to help support her and the kids while working, doing the school run, putting food on the table, and doing alternative night feeds? Am I expecting too much for the house to be cleaned and clothes to be washed as her contribution, or am I wrong in this? What do you guys say? I see a man working 10 hours a day. Okay, that doesn't even include the time to go to and from the job. So that's like 12 hours. He's only one working, and he's working 60 hours a week. It is exhausting having a newborn, I will admit that. And she's not working. But you know what? Using myself for an example, I had my baby. I got out the hospital. I stopped at my mother's house for the night. The next day, Hubs picks me up because he was out. He had to fly back because she was born early, so he had to. He was out of town. He flew back, so he picks me up from Mom's house, and we go to the grocery store. I'm pushing the cart. He's putting the stuff in the cart. We go to the house. We go. We both carry stuff up the stairs to the house. I didn't have the heavy stuff he did, but still, I'm moving around. I'm doing stuff. I go in the house. I put her in the bed. I change her, do all the stuff. We're cooking dinner. We're doing the stuff. He vacuumed. I mean, we work like a team. But the rest of the time, he was running his business. He traveled a lot for work. He was around for a week or two, but then he had to go, right? He had contracts to fulfill. So he was gone. So that left me to do everything by myself. Was it a problem? Nope. Because I'm not lazy. And I don't understand, like, you got older kids, they can also help stuff. You teach your kids how to like wash their clothes and fold clothes and stuff like that so they can help do stuff. They're not helpless at that age. Some kids, 6 and 7-year-olds be cooking whole meals. They had them cooking shows. You see them kids cooking all kind of stuff. And I saw this show in China where this little boy's mother was sick. I mean, like some, like cancer or something. And he was 5 years old. And this little boy would go to the store. He would cook, clean up, and do everything at 5. Okay, so what's American kids' problem? UK kids doing some shit in the house. The parents just don't teach them nothing and don't want them to do anything. So you let your kids be lazy bums and demanding little spoiled brats. But no, they can do stuff. They can wash dishes. They can put stuff away. They can sweep them up. And they can clean the bathrooms. And they can wash clothes and fold them. All you got to do is teach them. So anyway, from my perspective, sir, I think with all the hours that you're putting into work and travel to and from work and taking the kids to school early in the morning, that's why you're tired. And I think that she should understand that and kind of step up her game a little bit. If it's really so exhausting and stuff for her, because maybe she isn't as good health as I am. You didn't talk about it, what if she may have some issues, which we make allowances for. You guys might need to get some like part-time household help to come in and do those kind of things for a couple of months until she's stronger. Think about it. There's always solutions to everything. But you might have to get a little creative. But yeah, I wouldn't think like her. That wouldn't be my approach. Yeah, couples therapy, but when a man's working 60 hours a week, when is he gonna have time to do it? I don't know that this is couples therapy. This sounds like her therapy. She may be having some postpartum depression and just taking it out on him because she's upset, which that happens. But whatever, somebody working 60 hours a week and supporting everybody and taking the kids to school so you can sleep in and still doing every other night duty so you have a night off. She's living the good life and still bitching. Yeah, well, she's going to have to do it all herself in a minute when he deuces out and moves out and they get a divorce. This kind of living like this is not sustainable, sir. It's not sustainable. I think you're doing good, but try to think about, like I said, some other options, some other solutions before you throw in the towel. Okay, because it's going to impact your kids as well. So try everything that you possibly can to make this work, including looking at getting, some part-time help, and uh, and then see what happens. Question number 10. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group. The male in question is in the 35 to 42 age group. Oh, so he's way older. Summary of issue. My boyfriend rambles on and on about every single interaction he had in his day to me, especially ones that stroke his ego. And I find it to be exhausting and boring to listen to the same type of stories every day. Okay, that could have been just, the whole letter, but she wrote a bunch more. I'm starting to get really bored of the conversations that I have with my boyfriend. I'm 27 and he is 37, by the way. He is a really sweet guy and he does have a hobby, but I find his conversation to be extremely boring. Most of the time, it is him just repeating back compliments he got that day or the day before. And I've started to feel like the mom of a little boy who just wants to be told, good job, by his mommy. He also goes into a lot of detail when recalling the compliments, telling a long winded story about how it happened, who the person was, what he responded back to them, etc. Instead of just making it simple, like someone told me this today. It's starting to get really exhausting and quite frankly boring. And I have communicated with him about it. I don't like it when he does this. Yet he would preface it by saying, I know you don't like when I talk about how someone complimented my mustache, but, and then proceed to ramble on for minutes about how two people back to back complimented him on his mustache and then laughed at a joke he made. Well, he has supremely low self-esteem, doesn't he? That's another thing he does. Try to recall every single time he made a joke or made someone laugh. Oh, I made passengers laugh with this joke today. We're flight attendants. And then rambles on about a joke he's made several times before and how this time 3 people around him chuckled. Like, okay, I feel like these are just normal human interactions that don't need to be recalled to excruciating detail. They're not accomplishments that need to be shared. And he does this not only to me, but with his friends and colleagues too. It's very annoying and he does not make for good conversation at all. Is he insecure or just boastful? How can I help elevate this level of conversation we have? We have vastly different hobbies, and he does not reciprocate when I start speaking about political, philosophical topics because he thinks any disagreements on these topics will lead to an argument when I have mentioned that it facilitates a healthy discussion. But nope, just surface level talk about what happened that day. I feel like his diary or something. Well, why are you with this clown? First of all, he's too old for you. And secondly, he's 37 years old and he's got the mind of a 15-year-old. Usually guys, when they're older like this and they date women that much younger, it's because they have like issues. Usually some very extreme immaturity. So, and your boyfriend shows that. Sometimes it's not. I mean, sometimes it's not, but I keep seeing that, and it's like the guy has just got arrested development, and so the girl is like more mature than him, even though she's 10 or 12 years younger. So, how would I handle this? Wait, let me pull this back. What would Deb do? That's another T-shirt that we have too. What would Deb do? Okay, so he wants to ramble on and on, telling the same type of stories every day. Who do you think wants to hear that bullshit? You do realize how boring you are? That's all you ever talk about is somehow somebody complimented you or laughed at your tired, weak-ass jokes. Don't you have any intelligent things to say? If not, then stop talking because I don't want to hear it. Okay, that would be me. And then long-winded stories, I would just get up and walk the fuck out the room and he could be talking to my back and I'm not the one. Okay. He does this not only to me, but with his friends too. And they don't tell him that he's boring and nauseating. How can I help elevate the level of conversation that we have by having conversations with someone else? Because you're at his capacity. That's it. You have different hobbies, okay? So how did you all get together then and decide to be a couple? You don't have anything in common. You can't even communicate with the man any kind of sensible way. He doesn't talk about anything that's intellectually stimulating, right? He's like grade school conversation for a man who's almost 40 years old. Something is wrong with him. I don't know what to tell you. First, my thing is, if I were you, I would look at seriously consider ending this. Not because he's a mean person or anything, but because you're not getting what you want out of a relationship. I say that 900 a billion. How many times have I said this, y'all? If a man's not giving you the relationship that you want, you cut him loose. You deuce out. It's over. There's no compromise on that. There should never be a compromise on that issue. It has to be what you need. Your needs have to be getting met. Your needs for conversation, communication, emotional intimacy through the work, through communication and conversation are not at all being met at all. And they're never going to be, because this guy has reached his limit. Every time when you try to press for something like that would make you feel happy to be, having these nice conversations with your man, he shuts down because he feels like it's going to cause an argument. So you're frustrated because you can never have a decent conversation with your partner, and he just dancing around like, sprinkling fairy dust and just making everybody laugh and be happy like he's a fucking comedian. So, that's the other thing. Like, he talking about all these people laughing at the joke. Well, how much did you get paid? Because, if you making folks laugh, you should be a comedian and be making big money, like Eddie Murphy or some damn body. But instead, you're just walking up and down the plane aisle cracking jokes looking like a fool with a giant mustache on your face. Boy, if you don't shut up, I don't know. I just don't have the patience for this kind of stuff. I would have left his ass a long time ago. Question number 11. Yeah, he's got a weak. He's weak. He has low self-esteem. So all that stuff is just propping him up. He feels good about it. That's why he has to talk about it in excruciating detail. But it's like if you really has confidence, he don't need to talk about it all the time. It's just there. He exudes it just from the way he walks, when he sits down, the way he lifts up his glass. He exudes confidence. So you got somebody who's always reminding you how wonderful he is and how other people perceive him to be so funny and he's so cute and he's attractive. That means his self-esteem is in the toilet. And he's propping himself up with these conversations. So, like me, I don't have time for men with low self-esteem. I can't stand it. And it's like the bully in me just comes out. And it's like, ooh, he's got low self-esteem. Let me make it lower. Ooh, his feelings can be easily hurt. Ooh, let me see what's his face going to look like when I start talking about him real bad. What's he going to look like? And I'm going to sit there like Seeley, looking and studying him like a bug under a microscope. Like, ooh, that really did some damage. Look at his face. Look at his, he's trying to smile, but it's not working. Wonder what would happen if I said this and that. Would he cry? Would he run away? Would he get upset? Would he just fall down on the floor and throw a tantrum? Let's see. Let's try it. That's how I do stuff. It just brings something out of me, like the evilness just comes out. Question number 11, male 22 to 27, summary of issue. I feel like my girlfriend just isn't putting much effort into the relationship as partner is supposed to. I think you meant as a, okay. When your partner doesn't text you back after hours on end and comes up with an excuse of, quote, I've been busy, and you reply saying it takes less than 1 minute to say what you've been up to or to say, I'll text you later. Auntie Deb, do you think I'm in the wrong or am I being too sensitive? I think that she could just give me a small update regardless of what she has to do. But it may be a different story if she has no time at all to even spend 30 seconds to type, I'm busy, I'll text you later, which I know is not her situation right now. I've been kept up waiting all night because she, quote, planned to talk to me and ended up canceling, saying I'm busy on the planned day. I think it's rather careless and using an excuse of repetitions of the same sentence, I was busy. Totally absurd. I don't know what he's talking about. I tried talking about this issue, but she is totally unresponsive to what we've discussed the next day. I'm not sure what to do now to stay committed and probably be ghosted for days or to dump her. I feel like I'm the only one trying to keep the relationship afloat, even during our conversations. What should I do? Just break up with her then. But see, you know what? From my side, you probably should break up with her because you know why? You are too fucking needy. You're like a bugaboo. You want all this goddamn attention. You're a grown-ass man. Nobody need to be texting you all fucking day and responding to you instantaneously like you a toddler. Grow up, okay? Stop texting people. You know the girl's busy, okay? Wait for her to text you then. That's a simple solution. If she's busy, which you don't seem to believe, I know that's not her situation right now. You don't know shit about her life because you're too busy worried about her texting you to really investigate what's going on with her. Not one time did you mention that, what she's doing. You just dismiss it all because it doesn't meet your agenda. You just a selfish little dweeb. But you're too immature to be in a relationship with this girl because she is a mover and shaker and she's trying to do what she's trying to do. And you trying to impede her and always like in her mix, wanting her to divert her time and attention and focus from that to texting you some bullshit. You need a job or two jobs or five or some hobbies or some friends. Or you need something so that you don't focus all your energy on your girlfriend. Because you know what? She's not going to put any energy into it because you bug the fuck out of her. She can never have any energy or time to miss you because you always in her face, bugging her and trying to make her feel guilty for not responding to your crap text. She might be his girlfriend, but she won't be for long at this rate because he too goddamn needy. And y'all listen to this. If this is you, you expect people to text you back all the time and stuff. Get yourself a life. Okay. People have stuff to do. People in school, they're at work. I've had jobs where you couldn't even be on your phone at all unless you was on break or at lunch. And usually, at break, you have stuff to do, running a little errand or whatever, make a phone call, set up a doctor's appointment. You got stuff to do. And then at lunchtime, you're trying to get you some food and eat and stuff and try to chill out and relax because you got to go back to work in a little bit. So people don't really have time to be sitting there jaw-jacking with you every day about nothing. Talk to her when she gets time. Oh my God. See, this wouldn't work for me. This would not work for me. This would not work for me. Because I'm busy all the time. I'm busy all the time, except when I'm asleep. Then I'm but even if I'm not busy, I should be because the stuff I need to be doing, but it just means I'm not doing it. But I could be busy seriously 24/7. Question number 12. This is a male in 22 to 27 age group. Summary of issue. What does, quote, interest actually look like from a woman? Oh, ladies, this sounds like something that y'all will get to participate in. I just turned 22 and I have recently noticed that I tend to be drawn and attracted to women who really aren't that interested in me or anyone for that matter. It's a pattern that I really want to break because I feel that not only is it mentally taxing, but I think that I'm most likely ignoring the women that actually do find me attractive. The problem is that I don't really know where to start or what to look for. Many of the stable relationships in my family don't really have good examples for this. So I was wondering if you and the other listeners have any suggestions for me. Well, you're at that age, and let me just be blunt. You pick a woman with your dick. That's why you're not seeing anybody who's interested in you because they don't meet whatever your sexual fantasy is or what your girlfriend should look like. I'm just being blunt here. That's what happens at 22. You don't pick a woman for her inner qualities, her beautiful personality, her charm, her giving heart, her family values. You're not looking at none of that. You're looking at how does she look in a bikini and is she a freak? That's what you're looking at. So there's nothing really that you can do because the women who turn you on are not, you don't turn them on. And it's going to take you a few more years of that before you wise up. Usually guys start getting a fucking clue around 30. So you got quite a few years of this. This is going to keep happening because you just stuck on stupid. I just, am I right, ladies? It's true. That's how they pick a girlfriend. They pick a date. They pick their woman they're interested in by does their dick tingle? And if it does, then they're like, ooh, I like her. And I want her. And she's looking at him like, ha, in your fucking dreams, because he's not doing it for her. So there's no interest. It's not mutual. So he's got his fantasy, but she got hers and he ain't meeting her fantasy. And so she don't get no play from the girls who he's interested in. That's really what's going on here. Let me just be blunt. Because, sometimes I get tired of trying to be politically correct. And I just want them to just get the answer and then leave me alone. So let's move along to question number 13. Female, 22 to 27. The male is 28 to 32. Summary of issue. My boyfriend has a problem with alcohol. When is enough enough? Oh, shit. Thank you for choosing my letter, Candace. This is the deal. My boyfriend is 29, I'm 27, and we've been dating for almost 2 years. We live together and have a wonderful life. He's sweet and supportive in every way. I really love him. If you did all this was so wonderful, you wouldn't have wrote an advice column on this. So cut the bullshit, chick. We have an engagement ring picked out and we'll talk about our future all the time. Okay, there we go. Because once these girls get engaged, remember I said this a few weeks ago. Once they feel like they have a fiance or they got engaged, they take all kinds of bullshit from these dudes, just ridiculous levels of nonsense, abuse, and mistreatment because they're focused on this ring and being a fiance and getting married more than they're focused on what kind of relationship they're having with this fiance and what kind of marriage they would have with this man. They don't think about that. They're thinking about the party and the dress and the ring and, that part. I'm just saying. But his drinking has become a real problem in our relationship. He drinks every single day. There's always some kind of excuse. Either it's the weekend or I've had a long day. There's a game on. It doesn't matter. There's always something. He drinks at least 5 beers a night. Is that all? Lately, I've been finding many liquor bottles in his nightstand. Okay, he's doubling down now. I hate the way he acts when he's been drinking. I can immediately tell. He stops being the guy I know. He stops making sense, and it's impossible to connect with him. It feels like I'm talking to a child. I've told him that this is a problem for me and that I will leave him if he doesn't get it under control. Now he just hides it. He will drink in the garage or even in the shower to keep me from seeing. Oh, dude is okay. He's gone. As I'm writing this, we are on a beach vacation celebrating my graduation, and he is passed out in the sand beside me. He couldn't even walk. He caused so much of a scene that people were coming up to me to comfort me. So now, instead of enjoying the beach with my boyfriend, I'm sitting here silently on my phone. Can you tell me when is enough enough? I love him, but I don't know if this will ever change. It's never going to change. Sounds like it's getting worse because he went from beers to doubling down with with the chaser, with the liquor. So I don't know what his demon is, what the problem is with him, what it is what pain is he trying to escape by being drunk all the time. There's something, most likely something from his childhood. Childhood messes up a whole bunch of people. But I'm gonna tell you this. You have no future with an alcoholic. Because at some point, he's gonna total a car and become a paraplegic, or he's going to kill somebody and end up in prison and have all kinds of fines and restitution to pay, which since you're married, you would be on the hook to pay half of as well. They will attach your house. They will attach your salary because especially if you're a community property state, you're going to be stuck paying it too. So the best thing that you could do right now is to deuce out on this guy and tell him if once he's clean for 2 years to look you up. But other than that, there's no future here. There's nothing here for you. The nice stuff that you talked about at the beginning of the letter is going to be eradicated and just totally, I don't know, it's not going to be anything compared to the hell that's coming your way. You try to hang on to them little teeny pieces of happiness and joy and good treatment, but the overwhelming majority of your relationship with this man is around his alcoholism and your codependency. So you need to understand what time it is and get the hell away from this dude. Question number 14. This is a female in the 35 to 42 age group. Summary of issue. I have a job-related decision to make. I worked in the K-12 education for 10 years. I recently been here for 10 months. Took a job at a local college because my girls would get free college tuition while I was employed. I took the job at a significant pay decrease, assuming I would be able to move up in pay eventually. However, after talking with my director and many others, there's very little room to move, and the pay isn't very much. I'm very disappointed. I've been approached by a school district nearby about an opening where I could make $20,000 a year more than I'm making now. This would significantly allow for financial freedom. My dilemma is I feel horrible letting my girls down. What should I do? You're not letting them down. If you make it $20,000 a year more, you could save some money for them for college. Plus, you could get them tutors and stuff so they could get some scholarships and grants And then they can be like everybody else and get a student loan if they don't do that well. But you don't sacrifice the now for maybe, because you don't even know if your girls are going to want to go to college, if they're going to be even get good enough grades to be to apply and be accepted at a college. You're banking all of this future on unknowns. Never do that. You go with what you know right now, and then you can set up a college tuition fund, and you can just have automatic deposits out of your paycheck, $250 a paycheck or whatever you want, whatever you can afford, to go right into this college fund, which you can use for college or for whatever else goes on, maybe for wedding or whatever. But it's some stuff for you putting aside for your girl's future. Have one account for each of them and put the same amount of money in each one. Okay. I would not be worried about this, honey. What you mean let the girls down? You tripping. I'd be like, look, we getting ready to go on a vacation. Are y'all mad that mommy gave up your college tuition? They too little. They not going to know about it. And they'll be like, no, mommy, let's go to Disneyland. And you'll be like, yep, bet. And now they won't be thinking nothing about no tuition. They'll be thinking about my mommy got a better job and we went to Disneyland. That's how you do kids. They don't be tripping on that. You just guilt tripping yourself for no reason. Question number 15. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group. The young ladies 18 to 21. Summary of issue. I am at the end of my rope. My girlfriend won't let me spend time alone. Oh, no, not another one. These needy ass people. Oh. He had a shower, Onyx. That's what she said. So dude is in it. So it's going to wash away the smell. But I'd be scared I would fall in the shower. I'm not that steady. So, since my situation last year, I have grab bars in my shower now. But I wouldn't be drinking in the shower. That would be like a suicide mission. Okay, so she says he's at the end of his rope. She says, I want to make it clear I love her and she loves me. But I am increasingly frustrated. I call in sick to work some days because I have no time to recollect myself. I'm 24 and I work full-time and I take 12 credits of college. Okay, so you're taking 12 credits and a full-time job? Dude. When I get off of work, my girlfriend, she's 21, calls me, and the calls last an hour on average. Then she tells me that I should sleep over most nights, which results in 30 minutes of driving, then getting up at 4:40 a.m. to drive to work, and the process repeats. If I say I have to do homework or I'm busy, I'm expected to give an additional few hours of phone time and to respond pretty frequently to snaps. She's over here weekends and requires ample attention. Then it repeats. Don't get me started on my ability to even work out or diet because she doesn't like how it makes her feel. The only days I kind of have to myself are days I call in sick and don't tell her. Even then, I just got off an hour phone call and she's mad. I decided to stay home to work on homework. I've tried to discuss these issues, but then she often cries, gets mad, or says I want to leave her and won't talk to me. I think we're meant for each other. What you smoking? But I feel like I'm close to going smooth off on her. Auntie Deb, what would you do? Go smooth off on her? Is there any way to force a conversation with someone who isn't willing? I also tried to keep Sunday mornings open to see friends for an hour or two, but she doesn't like that either because she wants me to sleep in with her. I'm sure this is a one-sided count and that I'm far from perfect, but I had to get this off my chest. This poor dude, he need to grow some nuts. I'm always tired and stressed and feel like I'm losing my mind sometimes. Dude, grow some nuts. Okay, grow some. And a fucking spine. Okay, let me tell you how this would go. Now, I'm a woman, but I'm going to put myself in your shoes for a minute. And I'm going to be the guy in this situation with this fucking control freak ass, needy ass girlfriend. Okay, yeah. Calling sick to get some time. Okay, 24 hours. Okay, when I get off of work, my girlfriend calls me and the calls last an hour each. After 10 minutes, you say, look, I got to go. I have shit to do. Well, you haven't really talked to me. I'm not going to either because I have shit to do. Click. And then she tells you she wants you to sleep over. No, I'm going to sleep at my house because I have shit to do. Well, I'm going to be mad then. Well, you'll scratch your ass and get glad. I mean, what you want from me? You'll get over it. Click. If I say I have to do homework or I'm busy, I'm expected to give it an additional few hours of phone time to respond pretty frequently to snaps. Why? Turn your phone off, sir. You don't know how to turn your phone off? Put your phone on Do Not Disturb. Mine has that button, and when I have to concentrate on something, I mash the little button. I go in there and I mash it. I mash the little button that says Do Not Disturb. And so all the calls just go to voicemail. It doesn't even ring on the phone. I don't know anyone sent me a text. I don't know anyone's called me until I take the D&D off. Okay, you can do that. She's over here on weekends. You need to cut that back to every other weekend so that you have some time to yourself to spend with your other friends and maintain relationships with family and friends. This is important. You don't let her take up all your time like that. Okay, you can't work out a diet. She doesn't like how it makes her feel. Well, okay. I don't really like to talk about people like that because, that was my career for a long time. But, she don't like how it makes her feel. I don't give a fuck. You just be a fat cow then. I don't really give a fuck, but it's not going to be me. So if you get in their feelings because I'm exercising and looking good, well, you can either join me or you can sit there on the couch and pout. I really don't give a fuck. Whatever you want to do. Don't get too big because then I'm going to talk about you. I just want you to know. And the only days I have to say is the days I call in 60. That's that passive. You're too passive. Then you got off an hour phone call and she's mad. You decide to stay home on work and do homework. Who gives a fuck if she's mad? Does the world explode because she's mad? She's controlling you and you letting her do it. She cries and gets mad. Just stop fucking crying. That's how you know there's some white people. Because there's a white girl tears. They always fucking crying about something to manipulate somebody into giving them what they want. They cry at work. They cry in clubs. They cry everywhere. They always want to fucking cry about every goddamn thing. And I'm not down with that. Stop crying, bitch. You want to talk shit and do all kind of crazy shit. And then when somebody jams your ass up, your first thing you want to do is start crying crocodile tears. Nobody give a fuck about your tears. That's the kind of stuff they get from me. I don't give a fuck about your tears. I'll make you cry more. You doing some fake tears now. You want some real ones? Keep it up. And I'll go in on you and then you really be crying. For real. She says, I want to leave her. Say, no, I don't. But you putting me, I'm going in that direction because of the way you act. The way you try to put me in a choke collar like I'm a damn dog. I can't fucking stand it. I hate it. I can't even breathe. You always in my face. You always on the phone. You don't have shit else going on in your life. But because I do, then something is a problem and you mad, you going to keep this shit up and I'm going to leave your ass. That's what's going to happen. That's what I would tell her. And you think you're meant for each other, you are on crack. Okay? Something is wrong. You smoking something because there's no way in this world that you're meant for each other with her having this kind of controlling nature. And you think that it's going to get better, like if you get married, you're going to be one of them henpecked husbands that can't do nothing. She's going to be running you like a vacuum cleaner. I'm telling you how you need to rear up. You keep Sunday open. So you start getting your life back. You need to learn how to say no and I'm busy and stop and put up boundaries. You're not doing it. And you're coming off as weak and spineless. No woman wants a man who's weak like you. Stop it. Get your life back and start doing it today. Tell her she ain't coming over this weekend because you have shit to do. And if she shows up, walk out the door, close it behind you, get in your car and drive the fuck off and leave her standing there. Then she'll get a message. But, you have to have the courage to do that. Question number 16, female 35 to 42. Summary of issues, struggling with fertility issues. I'm a 36-year-old female married to a 32-year-old male. When my husband and I were dating, I told him the only way I could have biological kids was to go through in vitro fertilization. He said he was okay with that. Eventually, we did get married, and it's been rough, but we've made it work. We did one round of IVF, and it didn't work out. Last night, he tells me he really wants biological kids and doesn't want to adopt. He said he wants kids, but if I can't have any, he'd stay with me because he loves me. I don't know that I can have kids because IVF does not guarantee a baby. I feel like he's never should have married me knowing I have fertility issues and adoption is now not on the table. I'm honestly considering leaving him, not because I don't love him, because I feel he should be with someone who can give him what he wants. I really don't know what to do. Any advice would be appreciated. Okay, so what's the problem? Why can't you take your eggs out and fertilize them with his stuff and then insert them back in you and then grow the baby like that? Or get a surrogate if you don't have any eggs. Why can't you do that? Other people do it all the time. You know, it's not hard. It's not really easy to find somebody that you get along with that well, like it sounds like you guys do. But if you, I mean, I'm not going to try to stop you. I mean, you don't want to have to be in a relationship. But I'm just saying there is another solution that you haven't even mentioned. And it's a common one, and it's not that hard. So you got money to pay for IVF, you got some money to pay for a surrogate or them implant or whatever they call it, test tube baby. You got the money. So look into it. And then if it doesn't work and he doesn't want to do it, then you can go and leave him. Okay. Question number 17, female 22 to 27. Summary of issue. I'm not sure what to do with my friend. I have a good friend who I have a kind of a friends with benefits arrangement, I guess you could say. He has made it clear that he doesn't want an emotional attachment or to fall in love. I can accept this and I'm okay with it. However, he tends to get jittery if he senses any kind of emotional development with me. I think this is more about his feelings than mine. The thing is, he has been having a very hard time lately and has said some things that have worried me about his feeling really down. I've told him I'm here if he needs to talk. He has other friends and family, of course, but now I find myself in this weird position where I want to check in on him as a friend and to make sure that he's okay. But I'm worried this comes across as me wanting more from our relationship. I know that sounds stupid, but the boundaries on our friendship have become very mixed up by the with benefits part. Would you just check up on him anyway, Deb, to make sure he's okay and risk him thinking you want to be a girlfriend? Or just give him lots of space to lean on his other friends? I would give him the space. He don't want no emotional attachment and he gets weird if he senses any kind of emotional development. So leave him alone. He's been feeling really down. Why is that your problem? You just there for the dick. See, you mixing, that's why he's confused because you mixing up stuff. If you got an FWB, you don't really give a fuck if he's sick, in the hospital, half dead, totaled his car, mother died. None of that. I mean, none of that is your business because y'all don't have that kind of relationship. You're just there for the dick. And that's it. And that's all. Okay. So what he's doing any other time and wherever he's doing it and who he's doing it with is not your concern. You don't worry about that. You focus on you. You told him that you're here if he needs to talk. I would never waste my breath telling him that. I don't want to hear your words. That's not your position in my life. I'm not going to be bored listening to you talk because I don't care. Where is the D? That's all you here for. Talk with that. Any words that you got to say is just random nonsense. I don't want to hear it. So y'all be mixing up your situation here. You got to learn how to, if you're going to have this quote, friends with benefits kind of thing, then you got to really understand what that means and what the boundaries are. You don't be relating to them like that. You keep all of that separate. Friends with benefits merely means, you can have it's not just like a straight bone. I mean, you guys can have, when you get together, you can have a drink, you can have a little conversation. You maybe watch Netflix on the couch or something. That's what the friends with benefits mean. That's the extent of the friend part. Okay. It's just a prelude to whatever it is that y'all get together to do. Okay. It doesn't mean that you go out on dates and you go visit his family and he visits yours and you care about his mental health. It doesn't mean any of that. All right. Question number 18. This is a male, 22 to 27, female, same age range. Summary of issue. She said, quote, another time. What does that even mean? I met a beautiful, playful, witty, intelligent woman playing soccer in a casual indoor league. Indoor soccer, really? We are both 23 years old. I was immediately attracted to her, but could tell she was reserved and that she'd be a hard nut to crack. So decided to play my cards close to my chest. Oh, did you now? After some light flirting throughout the season, I felt empowered to take more initiative. After our game night, I made an open invitation to grab a bite or drink at a local bar. 6 people came, her being one of them, and we hit it off. Everyone was sitting at a big table, but it felt like we were in our own world, sitting opposite one another at the far end of the table. We talked for about an hour before everyone got up to leave, and I even heard her best friend ask her if she wanted to stay. I took that as a positive sign. Her best friend would surely know if she wasn't happily engaged in the conversation. But before we left, we as a group made plans to go rock climbing yesterday evening. I walked back to my car, and looking back, she was smiling and waving at me. I felt more than confident that the interest was mutual. My friends did too. Okay, well, this is leading up to something that I think is is going to be disappointing. I'm holding my breath. After rock climbing, I asked her if she'd want to grab a drink. She told me her best friend drove her, to which I offered to drop her off at her apartment after. Oh, no, dude. She didn't answer immediately. Rather, she thought about it for a few minutes before she said, maybe another time, wiping her freshly clean hands on the back of my crew neck as there were no purple paper towels, followed by a few expletives. I'm such a homebody. I feel gross. I want to go home and shower. Granted, her black outfit was coated in rock climbing chalk. I've got class at 8:15 tomorrow morning. She then made me aware of her schedule, letting me know that she's usually available on the weekends and that weekdays aren't usually the best for her besides Tuesday and Thursday. I tried to play it cool, feeling slightly rejected but not blown off. I didn't get the no doubt feeling of mutual interest I was hoping for, but she could have just as easily said no. How does I interpret this? Given the context offered above, is she not interested, period? Or just not up for a spontaneous date after physically demanding activity? I haven't had this feeling about someone in a long, long time and would really like to get to know her. Thanks in advance for your help. Dude, you just a dummy. Okay, first of all, you she just was with you and rock climbing. Then she tells you, I feel gross. I want to go home and I got to get up early tomorrow. So in your little pea brain, you couldn't make the connection that she said maybe another time because of all of these factors. She doesn't want to go out for a drink covered in rock climbing dust when she got to get up the next day at 8 and be somewhere at 8:15. That's what that means. You asked about something that would happen right then and there, and she said another time. That was very clear. It wasn't convenient for her to do it right after the rock climbing experience. But you, oh, and I feeling rejected. Oh my God, dudes are stupid. I don't understand how much clearer that could have been that you connected that with and tried to ask all these questions like, how should I interpret this? You should interpret it the way that she said it. It's not like a secret cryptic message. It's very clear. She's covered in clockwork climbing dust. She don't want to sit around a bar having a drink with you. She doesn't feel good. She feels gross. She said that. I want to go home and get cleaned up. I want to shower. Okay, so how did that in your mind twist around into something that should be something that needs interpretation? You just overthinking this way too much. All you had to do is say, look, okay, well, I understand that tonight's not a good time and you want to get home and you got to get up early in the morning. I hear you. How about we set something up then on the weekend when you have more time? See, if you was a real player, that's how you would have rolled it. What's better for you? Friday night, Saturday, or Sunday? What works the best for your schedule? Here's my number. Give me a call. Whatever you want to do, I'll make myself available because you got it like that, girl. You got it like that. That's all you had to do. Okay. Play it off. Leave her with a smile. Leave her saying, oh, he's got confidence. Instead, you over here like wringing your hands together. Oh, what does it mean? What is it? Oh, I felt rejected. And just doing all this stuff. Women hate that shit. I wish you wouldn't have written all of that. All you had to do was ask what it meant. Right, ladies? Right? I mean, you just did something, you funky, you sweaty, and it's just not a comfortable thing. They're going to go sit around and sweat and chalk dust at a bar having a drink. That's like gross that you would even think that that's the appropriate thing to ask her at that time. Oh my God. You think more, you guys. You young men, think, okay? Think before you say stupid stuff and then get all in your feelings about a question that you should have already known the answer to at 20, whatever age he said he is. Question number 19. This is a young lady in the 22 to 20. Everybody's in the 22 to 27 age group. These ones are the age group when people don't know what the hell they doing. Summary of issue. Anytime I'm upset, my boyfriend says I'm the reason that I'm hurt and he doesn't take accountability at all. Okay, so then after that happened, let's say the second time, why did you stay with him? That would be the question to ask yourself. Why do I stay with a man who never takes accountability or responsibility for the fact that he hurts me? Okay, that becomes a question to ask yourself. But let's read what drama how you display the drama. For example, he told me something sexual that his ex did with him, and I told him I don't want to hear things like that because it's not pleasant to think about, and I felt kind of down about it, and I got quiet about it. Oh no 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 no! Let me just stop right here before I forget. And when they do stuff like that, he's doing it to get a rise out of you, and you're supposed to say, I'm glad you brought that up because I've been wanting to talk to you about what Rollo did and stuff. So let me just tell you about Rollo. Ooh, that boy was hung. Oh my God. The first time I saw it, I wanted to run away screaming. It was just unbelievable. And oh my God, his stroke game was on hit. It was unbelievable. I would just wear him out. You gonna talk to me about some bitch? Let me hurt your feelings right back. Okay, but anyway, let's move on. He asked me what was wrong, and I told him I was upset because I don't know why he told me that, because I really do not want to think of things like that, even though it was something in the past. It's just not something I think you should bring up to your partner and have that thought into their head. That's because you don't have no game. You have no game at all. You better get some, Miss 22 to 27. You're going to be out here tangling with these men, and you don't even, your shit is like kindergarten level. You let some man get you upset saying some bullshit like that, and you don't hurt his feelings back? You never let them see you sweat about some shit like that. You fire back. He wants to hurt. He did that on purpose to hurt your feelings and get a rise out of you. And that's when you give him the side eye and you say, oh, is that what we doing? And then you could proceed to ream his ass. Send him to his bed to flip out and cry and think about somebody else pounding you all night long and how he can't do it because he can't last more than 3 minutes. That's how you hurt his feelings back when they start doing that kind of shit. You don't let them get away with that. So he told me I was being childish and I'm the reason why I'm hurt. And that if I get upset over anything, it's because of something about me that I need to change. Oh, yeah, see? So when you start telling about Rollo and he gets upset, you say, oh, well, you're being childish. You're the reason that you're hurt. If you get hurt over anything like that because it was the past, that is a problem that you need to change, sir. I try to reason with him that, yeah, everyone should work on themselves emotionally, but I simply just don't want to hear about past events like that. And it hurts to think about. And it doesn't mean I'm telling, oh, yeah, he going to be wearing you out now because you done put your cards like all on the table. So he knows. Look at the video called Control Your Emotions. You need to study that video because you are too emotional and you're going to set yourself up to be played by every single man that you come into because you don't know how to shut up and act like you and be like, have some game. You don't have none. You're just like an open book. And when you have dudes, I mean, these dudes most of them are crazy. So you like the little dude in the last letter who has a crazy girlfriend. He's not like this. But 99% of men are just like this. They're going to look for weakness and then they're going to use it against you. It's just a male thing. It's their conquer bug or something. They want to see where the weakness is. And if you as a woman don't know that and you don't play your cards right and you don't show weakness, I mean, you just show weakness like you doing, then it's just open season on you. Just like deer season. It's like you have a target on your forehead and he's gonna shoot at you every chance he gets with his vile words and his attitude just to watch you squirm. He's gonna do it because he can and because you let him. That's why when they get started with that shit, you fire back and you shut that shit down. So he knows then if you had to fire back on him, talking about Rollo and Freddie and all of them, then he would have shut up. He would never do anything like that again because he would see that you ain't the one. And that if he starts that kind of stuff, then he's going to suffer for it. There's going to be consequences. And it's going to hurt his feelings way more than ever hurt yours. That's how I do things. It's like, oh, is that what we're doing? Oh, okay. Let's go. But yeah, you cannot live your life like this. You cannot deal with men like this, where you just put all these emotions out there to let them just give them a map to fuck you over. You just do it, girl. You better learn some game real quick. I said to him, so basically it means that I could do anything at all to hurt him. And when he is upset, I could just say, well, it's something inside of you that you need to change. That's why you're hurt over this. He said that would be the case if I destroyed his car, cheated on him or something like that. So I don't know. To me, it just seems simple. I told my partner something hurt me. Shouldn't they simply just acknowledge that and say sorry? And they will not do that anymore? I feel as though that's what I would do for him, even if I didn't understand why he was hurt. I still try my best to reassure him. Deb, this happens anytime I'm upset or don't like something he has done. It makes me feel isolated in my own feelings, like he doesn't care that much about how his words and actions have an impact on me. I feel like if anything happens, nothing will ever be truly solved because he insisted it's just me that needs to change the way I feel, and that the only problem that there is, what does it mean that he reacted this way? It means that you just too much of a pussy. Yeah, okay, like say you have pain because you got surgery or you fell and broke your arm or uh I don't know, your mother died or something like that. Yeah, those kind of pains they can but show sympathy and stuff for. But you just talking about what you don't want, like and stuff like that. No man's gonna give a fuck about that. Scratch your ass and get glad. So, the thing is, when you tell him that you don't like something, you expect him to not do it anymore, to change it. And I'm telling you, with the mentality that most men have, and I have the same thing, if you don't like it, that becomes the top of the thing on my agenda to do to you. Because now I know it gets your goat. And so anytime that I want to fuck over you or just to see you squirm, I'm going to do that thing. That's just how assholes are. And you dating an asshole and you talk, the asshole over here is telling you advice on how to handle another asshole. That's not how you do it. You don't ever let them see that you have a weakness. And I know a lot of people are like, well, I can't be in a relationship like that. Then don't. But you're going to be constantly fucked over and constantly writing on advice columns and telling people about your sad tales of woe, about how you got fucked over by somebody because you don't know how to handle yourself. I'm telling you how to do it. You're going to be a grown woman out here with these men these days. Men are not like they used to be. Everybody's got some issues or something. So you're going to be dealing with these new modern men. You got to have your shit tight. Your game has to be tight and your self-esteem has to be high and your boundaries have to be firm. Otherwise, you're just going to be roadkill. I don't know what else to tell you. You thinking he gonna change? He's never gonna change, and he's right. Your feelings about what he does and says are yours. It's your feelings to deal with. You trying to control other people's actions because telling them, well, that hurts me. Nobody gives a fuck if it hurts your feelings, your feels. Scratch your ass and get glad and grow up. Be a grown ass woman. You shouldn't be having all the goddamn feelings all the goddamn time. Oh, them emotional ass bitches. They just get on my nerves because they be trying that stuff, through the years of working. Well, when you said this and that, when you wrote it in this email, that hurt my feelings. And I just be looking at them like, so, I want to say it. I mean, when I was young, I would say it. But as I got older, I got a little bit more sense. And I would just look at them with the soul expression. But I didn't say the words, so they couldn't run and tell nobody I said it. And I just be looking at them, and they just be like, well, are you going to apologize? I'm sure not, says Deborah. Well, why? I said, because I didn't do anything wrong. Now, your interpretation, the spin you put on it, and the feelings that you got over reading those words or hearing what I said, that's your red wagon to deal with. I'm not going to change how I live my life and the things I say to suit your feelings. I'm not going to do that because everybody in this office has a different feeling. And what am I supposed to do? Change myself to suit all y'all? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be Deborah and y'all just going to deal with it. And that's how I rode with them. And so your boyfriend has the same attitude as me. You just going to deal with it or just go and find you somebody else. That's the other option. Question number 20 of 20. How many did I say we have? 28. Female, 22 to 27. Summary of issue. A male friend has started acting really weird and I'm uncomfortable with it. Oh, damn, here's that word. I say friend, we've only known each other about a year, but we get along very quickly. We've got a lot of similar interests and sense of humor, and we can talk about the more serious things. He's a good guy, if a little odd at times. Lately, however, his mood's been up and down. He told me a bit about it. He's trying to think about the next stages of his life, getting broody and wondering if he should settle down. It's all very reasonable. What's not reasonable is his attitude. He's getting snarky at times, and because we talk so often, unfortunately, I've been witnessing this. We have a group chat with a bunch of people. For some reason, he gets cranky with me. I tried to be nice about it. Why? But it's starting to get on me. The other day, it got bad after I had a serious discussion with another friend in private about life, relationships, etc. He tried to give me some advice that didn't suit me, and I laughed about it in the group chat. Well, this guy got so mad on my behalf. started saying my friend was full of it, shouldn't be preaching just because he's married, and don't listen to him. You're better than that. I stopped replying because honestly, it was such an extreme reaction. And when I tried to ask if something was wrong later, he replied, ask that guy on your next date. He has all the answers. I went quiet again, and he finally messaged to apologize, saying he knew he'd been rude and out of line. I asked if I had done anything, but he just said, you don't need to apologize. You don't need to change, only if you want to. I let it go then, but honestly, it's just left a sour taste in my mouth. I don't know why he's being this way. I also don't know if I want to continue talking to him, if he's going to take his bad moods out on me and my other friends. Any advice on how to handle him or what to say? You don't know how to block somebody? You don't know how to say, don't talk to me like that, fucker. You know how to say that? You don't know how to say, I don't give a damn what kind of bad mood you in. You better talk to me with respect, you little jerk. You know how to say that? Huh. I don't even know what to say to y'all, because y'all just some weak ass women. They're spineless. Don't never stand up for yourself. Don't never put motherfuckers in check. Don't never shut shit down. You just take it and take it and take it. And then you write to me to whine. Grow up. This goes for most of the women in this column tonight. Grow the fuck up. You should be handling yourself. You up here sleeping with these men and having babies with them and all this kind of shit here. But inside, you're like stupid and young and just 7 or 8 years old in the mind. Your mentality is definitely not that of a grown woman, but you're doing grown woman things. Stop it. If you're not going to be handling yourself like a responsible adult, then don't do adult things. Stay a kid, no dating, no nothing. You stay in school, you get a little job, and that's what you do. But you're going to be out here dealing with dudes and dealing with people in the real world, and you don't know how to handle yourself. You don't do this to yourself, because you're just going to be roadkill, like I said. Question number 21. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group. Summary of issues: dating for 6 weeks, but he's still changing his profile. 6 whole weeks. Y'all, I am so frustrated. I've been seeing this guy for the past 6 weeks. Everything's been going great. I've even met his brothers at a party, which I felt was a good sign. No. He was on a large group trip for 10 days, and I didn't hear from him at all. Texted him towards the end, and he quickly responded, including that he had been thinking of me. We made plans to go to an event this weekend, which included seeing his brothers again. I was feeling pretty confident after all of this. Then I made the mistake of checking his online dating profile. Ugh, he updated his location to the country he was traveling in, which is fine. I've done that before to see what the scene is like. But he also updated a picture and a prompt. I don't know what that means. I immediately got really bummed. I thought we were approaching being exclusive. To be fair, his location is still that country, and he hasn't been updated to the city that we live in. But I also don't know why you would have updated pictures, etc., if you weren't planning on using it in the future. Not really sure what to think of it, and I know I need to be brave and just have a conversation, but I also don't want to force anything. I really enjoy spending time with him. Any insight? Yes, you should be dating other people. This is not your man. You're making the number one mistake that women make, which is every dude that they see, they try to make him their boyfriend. This dude is in another country having a good time, and he was gone for 2 weeks. Do you think he wasn't dealing with some other chicks? If you think that, you're stupid. He's not your boyfriend. You don't have any loyalty to him. You don't have no obligation to him. You shouldn't have been worried about what he was doing. You shouldn't have been texting him. He didn't text you. You should have been going out with other dudes while he was gone, and even when he's back. You don't stop just because you've been dealing with him for 6 weeks. That's not your man. Okay, you putting all these expectations and stuff on him in this situation that you got that are inappropriate. So you setting your own self up to be hurt. He didn't do anything. You just somebody he just met and you just kicking it with for the past 6 weeks. That ain't shit in the grand scheme of things. Now, whether it's 6 months, then I could understand your concern. But 6 weeks, he barely knows you. You don't know your middle name yet. You tripping, girl. You should be out having all kinds of fun with other men. He should be able to get in when he fit in, and that's about it. If he want to see you more often, then he would make time. He's not doing that, is he? He's off in some other country. So you ought to read the room. Question number 22. This is a male in the 28 to 34 age group. Summary of issue: my girlfriend is always late. So I have a girlfriend. Well, duh. We are a very solid couple and we are doing great, but there's just this one thing. She is always late. Whenever we plan something, we set a time and she's always late, at least 15 to 30 minutes. I'm not trying to make it a big deal. Oh, then why did you write? But also, I think it's important for me to know why she is late or how late she'll be. I share a car with my roommate, and so sometimes she picks me up, but it's 30 minutes late than what she tells me. Then she just picks me up like it wasn't 30 minutes late and doesn't tell me why. I think this is more of a rant than really seeking advice, but I think tardiness like this is my pet peeve. I'd be fine if she's 5 to 10 minutes late, but almost 30 minutes seems like too much. Am I wrong? I need some advice. What should I do? Well, you could do like me. The dude came late and I was getting in the car going out with somebody else. You could do that. I bet you her bitch ass would be on time after that. Because that's how it worked with the guy I was going out with. I'm not going to say his name. But that's how it worked with him. Because he show up all late and I'm going downstairs in my building, getting in the car with this other dude that had been trying to get me to go out with him forever. That's what he saw when he showed up late. But every time after that, when I said, well, you pick what time you picking me up, I'll be there at 6:30. I'll be there at 7:30. That motherfucker was 7:29. He was there in front of the house waiting. So, you show people. You don't tell them. You show them. So you have it, you just nagging, you whining, complaining, but you're not doing nothing. So you think about what I'm saying and what you can do to make her see that you can be late if you want to, but whatever we had planned, it's not going to happen because I'm going to be off doing something else with somebody else while you tripping. Your girlfriend. That wouldn't work for me. Question number 23, this young lady, 22 to 27. Summary of issue: unsure of what to do here. If I haven't talked to my sister in almost 6 months because of an eggplanty text message she sent my boyfriend, would it be okay for the two of them to still call, text? He would lie to me about it or not tell me. He even stayed at her house 3 separate times for a week at a time, not answering his phone or calling me. Am I being trolled right now? All of this because he needs to finish installing her stereo system. He says he started it and has to finish it or he'll look bad. Oh, and when I found out he lied to me a few weeks ago, I kicked him out and now he lives there. Mind you, she's married but separated from her wife and supposedly has a boyfriend that she leaves to go see all the time. Okay, wait a minute. So your sister is married to a woman, but she has a boyfriend, and then your boyfriend is up there in her face and moved in with her because you kicked him out? Okay, you just got way too much going on in your life. If I were you, I would just block everybody and just call it a day. Because what you mean you're unsure what to do? He's not your man no more. He never, by the time they sent that eggplanty message back and forth, that was the end of your relationship. The only one who didn't even know was you. Okay, so you don't have a relationship anymore. So I'm not sure what you're talking about, unsure what to do here. It's not your boyfriend anymore. Right? You kicked him out, remember? He's over there living with your sister. Remember? Did you forget that quick? You just wrote that at the top of the letter, but by the bottom you forgot? Is that what's going on here? Okay, question number 24. I don't have nothing else to say to you because you sound dumb. Male, 22 to 27. The female, same age range. Summary of issue. My girlfriend is expecting me to pay more than half of the rent and bills. I'm 25, my girlfriend is 24, and we have lived together for over a year. When we moved in, we agreed the rent and the bills would be split 50-50. At the beginning of last year, my girlfriend was in a job that she hated, and it was causing bad anxiety, so she was having a lot of sick days. This meant she was not getting a full month's wage, so she asked if I would cover 75% and her to cover 25% for that month. I agreed, but instead of 1 month, it went on for 4. My girlfriend eventually got a new job that she enjoyed. After that, it went back to 50-50. But last month, my girlfriend started having more sick days because she said she's getting anxiety from this job now. She's again asked me to cover 75% of the real bills and rent, but this time I said no. I pointed out that I agreed for 1 month last time and went on much longer, and that she needs to speak to a doctor or someone about her anxiety around work, since it's affecting her ability to function this badly. She is currently on antidepressants that she has been on for years, but won't go to speak to a doctor to get them reviewed. I think he needs renewed, and won't speak to a therapist. I repeated that I don't want to be paying more than half the bill, so she'll need to still contribute 50%. She said I was not being considerate, but I pointed out that she has money in savings that she could use for her portion of the bills if she can't afford to pull it out of her monthly wage. But she refused and said her savings are for specific things and that I should want to help her. I really need advice on how to handle the situation. You walk over to whoever owns the place that y'all renting and you put in your 30-day notice and you move out, get your own place, and you tell her that the relationship is over and wish her good luck to finding some place to live where she could live and go to work and not try to take care of her mental health and try to make somebody else responsible for her fucking life. Remind her that you're not her husband and that you have under no legal or spiritual or emotional or any other kind of responsible for her existence. You're not, she ain't your kid and she's not your wife. You need to remind her that. So you trying to put a husband responsibilities on somebody who's just your boyfriend. We go 50-50 in this relationship. That's the way it was, and that's the way it's always been. I'll help you for 3 extra months. That take that blessing that it was, and other than that, 30 days, I'm out. I'm not about this kind of stuff here, this manipulative shit. Because it's like she claiming that she has anxiety. That bitch don't have no anxiety. She about to get some though when she got to figure out how to get herself another place. She don't have no anxiety, but she do, because you know why? Because she doesn't want to go to get the prescription refilled and see a shrink, someone who could really treat her. She don't want to do that because she want to run this game on you. Oh, I'm so depressed. Just like dudes do, the girls. The same thing. You fall for people fall for it. People who are truly depressed don't want to be depressed. People who are having that they don't want to be like that. They'll do anything to not be that way. The fact that when they don't do anything about it, that's how you know it's game. Because they just happy, having you step up in a codependent capacity, taking care of them like they're some fucking toddler. Tell her, no, bitch, I'm sure not gonna do that. Instead, I'm gonna get this 30-day notice and I'm gonna deuce the fuck out. And you gonna figure it out. You gonna figure out how you gonna live in a hobbit hut, or you gonna live in a park, or push a shopping cart around. I don't know what you're gonna do, but I'm not paying for you. I don't like you that much. Question number 25. This is a female in the 28 to 34 age group, male, same age group. Summary of issue. My friend is becoming very bitter towards women. Oh, there's that word. I became friends with him online during the pandemic. He is a black male from Philly. I'm not an American, nor am I black. He has been ranting about his dating life to me and others. At first, it was just frustrations over this individual date or that, but over time, it's turned into, quote, why are you women like this or that rants. Of course, I would point it out that it's sexist and he would quickly apologize. It seemed genuine in the moment, but then he would do it again after another date failed to work out. I've been very patient, and I understand that dating can be very difficult for men, but I don't know how much more of this I can take. It's very heartbreaking to see a friend become so bitter about women. His other friends from Philly that I'm also friends with from the same social circle are no help. They say things like, quote, Philly women are crazy, or quote, Philly women aren't worth it, etc. They are struggling so much that they express about wanting to leave the city. Obviously, as an outsider who has never been to Philly or even the USA, I have no anecdotal experience to defend the women over there, but I operate by refraining from generalizing too much, as it's a slippery slope. It also makes me feel awkward because they often compare me against those women and emphasize how, quote, based I am, as they put it. I wonder what that means. Biased, based? I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Deb, I am Asian and first generation living and going to school here in Europe. Came here when I was 8. Yeah, I can be a bit conservative in dating and sex on Western standards because this is how I was raised. But I'm progressive enough that I don't like it when other women are put down. I just want to be able to support my friend through this harsh time, and I wholeheartedly believe he will find someone special. I fear that he's becoming too cynical. How can I help? I don't want to say the wrong thing and add more fuel to the fire. I also want to address this, quote, you're not like the other girls label that he keeps putting on me. How should I talk to him? You should tell him nobody gives a fuck. You being from an Asian culture, which tend to be very polite and, mannered, and, you guys have a lot of rules about courtesy and stuff and honoring. I mean, it's just a cultural thing. So it's most likely that you would not ever even think to say something like this. But the thing is, see, he's trying to set you up so that this is what a lot of black men, they try to set up women of other races to think that they're superior to black women. It's a setup. So they set you up to think that. Luckily, you're not falling for it, though. But a lot of them do. And they start feeling like they're better than black women. And I've even had some these white chicks get in my face and try to tell me how some black men said that they were better than me or some other black women and stuff. And I don't even want to tell you how I clowned them and sent them home crying. But, it's game. It's designed to manipulate you to think that you can save him like you're doing. You're falling for the trap. Stop it. And that, you can offer assistance and you can make it better for him and you can save him and all this other bullshit like this. Don't fall for the game. Okay. Grown men don't whine to other women about other women. They don't whine to women about other women. Bitch ass little boys that are manipulating for some trim do that. So that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to get you in bed. So this is his tactic. So what you have to do when he starts with that next time, say, what makes you think I want to hear you whine about some other bitch? Practice it so it comes out smoothly. And then he's going to be sitting there with the Pikachu face. Like, what? What did you just say to me? Say, because, it's like, it's not sexy conversation. It doesn't make me think that you're very intelligent. It doesn't make me look at you as an attractive man. It doesn't make me feel sorry for you. It just makes me think there's something wrong with you. It makes me think that, this is some stuff because you have a sour attitude that you brought on yourself. So, I mean, I don't know what it is you expect from me and why you keep telling me this, but I'm just telling you right now, I don't want to hear it. And this is the only conversation that you have that we probably shouldn't be friends anymore. That's what you need to tell him. Otherwise, this is going to continue and escalate. That's the game that brothers be running on women who are non-black. I'm putting it out there so y'all understand. As soon as they start talking that shit, you need to shut it down. I saw some white girl on TikTok and she knew it was up. And she was like, please. And she was just blasting them. But, those of you who are innocent and you don't understand this, you think he's giving you think what he's saying is a compliment. And you who are thirsty for acknowledgement and validation from men will lap it up like it's puppy chow. And you going to sit there and your head's going to get swollen because you think that he really means all this stuff about how much better you are than black women. He don't mean it in him for nothing. It's all about getting in your drawers. Trust me. And if you fall for it, well, then that's on you. Now, I done told you now. You better listen. Question number 26. This is a female, 22 to 27. The male is 28 to 34. Summary of issue. He say he need time. Oh, boy. Here comes Shanae. So me and my boyfriend been together for about a year. We spend every weekend together. Saturday night, I was going home. There's no punctuation here. I'm trying to put it in as I go. Saturday night, I was going home because he wasn't giving me any attention. He had his back turned to me on his phone the whole time. So he got upset and said that he don't want a person that's going to run from the situation. He told me that he needs some time to think about if he wants to be with me. So I respected his decision, but he wants to still talk every day. He say we're still friends. I feel like it's the easy way for him to break up with me. I'm not sure what to do at this point. You should have wanted him to break up with you. Are you crazy? He gonna have you all the way at his house and he on the phone with probably some other woman with his back to you so you can't see the screen and you just think that that's okay? How can you be so desperate see, that's how he knew that you were desperate. Because any woman with any self-esteem would have left immediately. You invite me over. Well, I hope he invited you, didn't just show up. Now, that's a question there. If you just showed up and he treated you like that, well, that's on you. But if he invited you, and then that's how he treated you once you got there, you were supposed to make an instant U-turn, not sit around there and wait for him to pay attention to you. You leave immediately. Well, it looked like you busy. I don't know what the fuck you invited me over here for. And as you on the way out the door, you calling your girls. I say, girl, meet me at such and such let's go have some fun because this nigga over here tripping. And then you get in your car and then you go to meet your girls. That's how you do men like that. You don't let them think that they did any you hurt you in some kind of way, you'd be like, well, I'm dressed now, so let me go have me some fun because obviously ain't gonna be shit going on over here. And so he wants to talk every day. You're supposed to block his number so he can't do that. He said we're still friends. No, we're not, because friends respect each other. There's nothing about you that's a friend or that I even want in my life anymore. You feel like it's an easy way for him to break up. Like I said, you should have had enough self-esteem and pride about yourself to break it off with him. You shouldn't be waiting for him to do it. You're not sure what to do, slap yourself and snap out of this fugue state. And then tell this man to get out your face, and then you block him. Or you can just block him and just ghost him. You don't really need an explanation because he already knows he don't want you anyway. The only one who doesn't know that is you. Question number 27. This is a female in the 28 to 32 age group. Summary of issue. I made a CPS report on my friend and her man. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I babysat my friend's son for a few days so they could have a little couples getaway before their new babies due. Little dude is 5, so obviously I was going to keep an eye on him when he was bathing. Anyways, I noticed that on his upper arm he had a bruise that looked like a handprint. Oh, so somebody grabbed him real tight. I asked him what happened, and he shrugged it off and said, I don't know. Can't talk about it. And then was really quiet for the remainder of the evening. My friend has told me before that her husband has a temper and is too rough with the kid. She says little dude often bothers his dad by talking too much to his dad. She's also admitted to me that he's thrown hard objects in the kid's direction and has nearly hit him in the head. My friend is refusing to talk to me now. She figured out it was me who called CPS. She told me I betrayed her trust and that I'm ruining her family. Boyfriend has assured me that we made the right choice by calling. My heart is so sad and heavy because I feel bad for my friend, but I feel worse for little dude. And they're having a new baby soon. What if he gets mad and something happens to the baby? I could never forgive myself. I need to tell this to someone I thought would understand. Deb, did I do the right thing? Absolutely. You know how I am about kids. Your friend is saying that you ruined her family. No, bitch, your husband that's throwing things at a 5-year-old that's squeezing the death out of his arm is the one who ruined your family. You got your shit is twisted. How you just gonna let some grown man abuse a 5-year-old baby? And you sitting up there mad at me about it. You should be mad at him. You should have called CPS on him yourself. Stupid hoe. Now I hope if something happens and somebody gets charged, I hope you get charged too for aiding and abetting. Because you didn't do shit to protect your own kid. You just let some man bully your kid and hurt him. And you sitting up there being mad at me because I reported your fucking ass. Don't ever talk to me again. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to keep an eye on CPS, and I'm going to call them every week and make sure that they do something about that situation. They get that motherfucker out the house and get you to some parenting classes so you can understand how to protect your damn kids. And I hope they take that baby from you too. I would say all kind of shit to her. She would never want to call me. But when it comes to kids, especially little kids like that, 5-year-old, what is he going to do? What can a 5-year-old do against a grown man's strength? Now, a 15-year-old, he might have a chance. A 5-year-old, there's nothing that he can do. So this little baby is a victim of this grown-ass man, and this bitch-ass mother is mad at her friend for calling in the authorities to help protect the child. The mother's not even protecting the child, but she's mad at the friend because the friend did. No. You absolutely did the right thing. I applaud you for having the courage to do it. Stick to your guns. Don't let her guilt trip you, or don't let anybody else guilt trip you either. And whatever CPS wants from you, I hope you took pictures of the bruise. If you didn't, that was a gross error in judgment because, bruises fade. Should have had some pictures of the bruise. All you had to do is whip your phone out. Tell the kid, baby, let's take a selfie. He wouldn't have known what was happening. Because you don't want to let him know that you're taking a picture of the bruise because then he can tell his mother. You want to say, we took a selfie. Let's take a picture of us. Oh, you're so cute. You're so fresh after your bath. And then in the meantime, you get a picture of that arm. I hope you did that. Okay, and our final question of the night's this crazy show. Oh, my goodness. We'll be back on Wednesday next week. It's supposed to be What the Fuck Wednesday, right? But this week was rough. So here we go. Oh, let me forget. Let's see. Tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? No, next Thursday. What's today? Yeah, it's next Thursday. So we'll have a show Wednesday, and then we'll have another show Thursday, and it's going to be no, that's tomorrow, the 20th. It's what's today's date? Shit, I can't think. Oh, today is the 13th. Okay, so yes, next week, next Thursday. Jesus, Deborah. Next Thursday, we're going to have the $10 on the spot dating advice show. This is how you do it so you can get your question ready. You just put it in a little document. You pay the Cashapp fee, have your letter prepared. And so you type it into the chat room after you pay your $10, and then your question gets answered right on the air in real time. You know, that's what I suggest because not a lot of you type real fast. Have it in a Word document or an email that you can copy and paste into the chat room real quick. And then we'll take your question live on the air. Okay. So our final question of tonight is from a young lady in the 18 to 21 age group. And she says, should I terminate my pregnancy or should I keep it? You in the 18 to 21 age group, this is a no-brainer. But let's see what you say. Hi, everyone. I'm currently in college. I'm 20 years old. I'm not married and I'm pregnant. I'm thinking of terminating and was hoping for some input on my situation. I'm leaning towards termination because I feel unready, and the father of the baby is my long-term on again and off again boyfriend, and he's 31. Wait a minute. You 20 and he's 31? Long term. So that sounds like when you were still a minor and he was in his 20s? Who cheated on me with various women through the beginning and middle of our relationship. All of my family lives far away, and I'm pretty much alone in the city I reside in. I have no money, no savings, and I'm not done with school. I still have about a year and a half left. I also don't know how to drive, and I don't have my driver's license because I crashed a car last year while having a permit, and I've been traumatized and too afraid to drive ever since. I'm not sure what to do, and I have no support system or anyone who will talk to me. Sometimes I feel guilty for thinking of termination. I know babies don't save relationships, they amplify their problems. I'm very scared and I feel like a failure. I'm an immigrant and feel like I let down my parents who worked hard to get me to the USA. I don't know what to do anymore. Thank you for any advice you can give me. You are going to reach out to look up Planned Parenthood. They're all over the country. And wherever's the nearest one to you, and if they don't have one, they ask them for a referral because they usually have a sliding scale. They have funds, for people who make donations to cover young women in situations like you where they don't have any money. And you're going to go there and you're going to get your termination. And then you're going to they're going to put you on birth control. I want you to start using it. So this never happens again until you are ready. Okay. Now, this 31-year-old boyfriend, on again, off again, please make that off. He is too old and you've been long-term on again, off again. Like I said, it sounds like this is some stuff that was happening before when you were a minor. No. Or maybe only just barely 18. Fresh to the country, so he knew you didn't know nothing. Please cut this fool loose. Please don't deal with him anymore. If you can get, if you have time while you're still in school, if you can do something where you can volunteer somewhere, you can meet some other young women and make some friends. You need some more socialization. I'm not talking about buddies to go out clubbing and drinking and stuff with. I'm talking about young women that you can talk to, go shopping with, have dinner with, have lunch with. You guys can hang out and do pajama parties and stuff and just talk and just, share your experiences and stuff, and just like a support system. You need that. But the first thing you're going to do is in the morning, you're going to reach out to whatever Planned Parenthood is nearest you, and you're going to talk to them about your situation and start getting this in motion before it's too late and you're stuck. I guess you could always give it up for adoption. That's another thing you could do. But why go through all of that? And you just never know what the birth process is going to be. It's very risky. So the best thing for you to do is to terminate as soon as possible. Get yourself on birth control and continue your education. so that your parents who sacrificed and scrimped and saved to get you there, to get you this education, are not disappointed in you. Okay, you're carrying your whole family on. This is a big burden that you're on. I understand it. I understand the first generation. You're coming over here and everybody sent you over here and everybody's banking on you to be a success for the family. So take that responsibility seriously. Don't worry about this clown man that's been using you. Don't worry about any man. You focus on your education and getting out of school and staying healthy and making friends so that you develop a female support system. Okay? That's the number 1, 2, 3 thing that you need to do. So that's it for the show tonight. Thank you, everybody, for showing up, because we kept changing the day. Remember to check out the Debsterism merch store. We got a lot of nice t-shirts. I'm wearing one of them right now. We got the one with the dusties, the hefty bags, and all kind of stuff on there now. Some mouse pads, mugs, all kind of stuff, logo stuff, tank tops for the summer, all kind of stuff that you can do. That you can select from and that you can wear to proudly show your support for the Debsterism channel. We appreciate all of you coming and supporting the channel. Please hit that like and subscribe button before you leave here tonight. Thank you for that. And I will see you guys real soon.